What's good, E?
Hey, what's up, Wyatt?
Oh man, good to see you, brothers. It's been a while.
Yeah. Had the holiday yesterday.
Yeah, a
Had
couple weeks.
obligations.
Yeah. How was your weekend, brother?
Man, my weekend was good. I got rest. I feel slightly rejuvenated.
Oh yeah.
Got an opportunity to spend some time with the family. Can't
Oh,
beat family time,
that's always
Um,
good.
so yeah, I had a good weekend.
Well, that's always good. That's always good.
How many states did you visit over the holiday weekend?
How many states?
Yeah.
I was in Ohio.
Ah.
I was in Ohio. I'm trying to get my lights up a little bit, bro. I'm doing something here. Oh, there it is. There it is, bro. All right. My fault. I could barely see the screen, man. I thought I was having a flash. One of them situations where shit was getting dim for me.
We don't want that to happen.
I know,
That'd
right?
be terrible.
Yeah, shit was getting real light over here. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, let me make sure. I better put my parental advisory up because I thought I was having the big one. It was getting low. What's good with you, man? How was your weekend? It was good. You say you spent some time with the family?
Yeah. Kicked it with the family yesterday. Um, that's about all I did yesterday. Hang out with my family.
Speaking of your family, bro, quick question for you. You have a brother, right?
Yeah, I got two of them.
Is Nathan Livingston, is that your brother?
Nate Livingston is my brother, yes.
Okay, because I remember listening to him years ago on the radio. I very seldom catch him now, but I remember years ago always hearing him on the radio. He's a very, very smart dude.
Yeah, he's up in Toledo now.
Toledo, Ohio?
Yes.
Okay. I may not have agreed with everything that he said at all times because I never do with anybody. I mean, then I don't expect him to agree with me on everything. But he's a very smart dude. But I was thinking, y'all must have some crazy conversations, some very alpha conversations amongst y'all at the house or some shit. I can only imagine, bro.
We do. It's always fun and exciting because we don't agree on everything.
Okay, I was gonna say, but did y'all fight as kids, if I may ask? Like, if y'all disagreed, were y'all physical, or y'all was just like, once somebody got their point checked, it was over, or it was like, now we gotta fight. So what? You won, but now we gotta fight.
We got physical. Like
rumble. Yeah,
we wasn't even arguing back then. It was almost always, I don't agree with you, you don't agree with me, when we end up fighting.
That kind of makes sense because y'all are some opinionated, strong, stand on your circle brothers, and I appreciate that. But I don't know, like, the only way that wouldn't be a fight is if one of you or if both of you just didn't have that fight in you. But I still think it only takes one to fight. Okay, because one gonna fight, one gonna defend themselves, and now you turn around and now you got to fight, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I was wondering, like, now I see why you so sharp.
But uh we don't fight, of course, now, because we grown men.
Yeah, yeah, for
Uh
sure.
but we do still disagree on stuff like this the vaccine. He was
Oh,
he was
he's
a
with it.
oh yeah, he was a big time everybody go get vaccinated type of person. And
Oh,
I wasn't. And yeah, we had many long heated conversations about it.
really?
But as brothers, we had these conversations. We get animated. The kids, the nieces and nephews, they used to get scared
Mm,
because they used to always think, I guess, oh, somebody about to fight. But nobody was ever about to fight, when we grew up.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, no, we argue. Yeah, you know how I do. You know
yeah.
how I do. And
Uh,
it's like we going at it. And if you didn't know, you think I hated Wyatt and Wyatt hated me sometimes if you hear our conversations.
I do. I do.
Uh but that's how we go at it. That's how
You
we
and your
go
bro.
at it.
You and
A
your brother.
hundred percent. Yeah, a
I
hundred
get.
percent. Then afterwards, we laughing about it like I can't believe you believe that nonsense.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
So he was all about the vaccination, and
Oh,
you.
he was all about the
I
vaccination.
got.
He's still all about the vaccination.
Really? That's
I'm
odd.
like, come
That's
on,
odd
man.
because he's such a different, like, he's a smart dude. I'm not saying you got to be, a certain caliber of thinker to think positive or negative about the vaccination, but he doesn't strike me as the type of person that would allow someone to tell him what to do. You understand what I'm saying?
I do, and I had to say he don't see it that way. He see
Okay.
it as you know,
Safety
doing what's
precaution.
best for society, doing what's best for, you, yourself, your loved ones, all of that kind of
Sure.
stuff. That's the
Sure.
way he views it. I just view it slightly different.
No, I
Slightly different.
understand. I get it. I get it. It's a good approach, but I don't agree with it. But okay. All right. But yeah, your weekend was good. So was he there?
No, he wasn't. He didn't
No.
make it down. He didn't make it down.
Okay, okay. So y'all had it in Cincinnati.
Yes, yes. But it ain't just him and me and he, or he and I, or the two of
Mhm.
us. Like, it's all of us. This is how we all are.
Your
Like,
whole
we
group.
all,
But
the
your
whole
dad's a
group.
preacher, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. There's the
Dad is a
root.
preacher. Mom's from Lincoln Heights.
Oh
Uh
well, I know she vocal. She vocal. She from the heights. Shit. She
so
ain't letting nobody get a word in. Y'all shutting shit down.
so
When
you
mom
know,
come in, she from the what they zone 15? Shit.
yeah, we got a little bit of that in us, and a little bit of the mouth from the preacher. And we were just always encouraged to think.
Yeah,
Like, I don't ever recall moms or pops telling us this is what it is.
I
I,
got
I I do recall having conversations with them where they shared their point of view. But I want to say, I remember my parents even asking me from time to time, like, they would tell me, this is what I think about this, or this is what I think about that. And there were certain things, like, we had to watch that King movie. We had to watch Roots. Like, that,
King.
what
Oh,
when
Dr. King.
yeah,
Okay,
when because they put that movie out. I can't remember the name of the actor who played Dr. King, but when that movie King was out, that
I
we
get.
had to watch it. Like, it wasn't optional. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah,
You better get in here because you watch. We had to watch stuff like that. Eyes on the Prize. Different things like that. We had to watch that stuff,
I got.
and I wouldn't say they would facilitate a conversation, like a group conversation or nothing like that. But I do remember, I'd be in the car with pops, and he'd be, what'd you think about that movie?
Mm,
What you think about Dr. King? What you think about this? And he would just ask me questions and not tell me I was right, not tell me I was wrong, just listen and basically allow me to have an opinion and
yeah,
allow me to talk about it. And he was just there to ask questions, to walk me through the thinking process.
yeah.
That was the way that he and my mom's, they did that all the time. Again, I don't ever recall them. We did used to have, like, little family meetings about stuff,
Yeah.
but it was never like a group conversation, like, tell me what you think about civil rights. No, but if I was in the car with one of them, just me and them, they were always asking questions, always
Mm,
asking questions.
yeah, yeah. I
So
tell you
yeah, I
what,
think they foster that in us.
one of my favorite movies, if I may, and this was probably I could think of some serious movies that I love, but when it came down to um, us and our community, I don't think they. I know they made movies like that, Selma and stuff like that, but Malcolm X with Denzel Washington was probably my favorite of all movies, knowing where somebody came from and the history of them and how they converted from straight crook to book. You feel what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen now. Now, granted, I'm from the era of Roots. I had a lot of questions about Roots, and what caused my questions were when I went to school in Cincinnati at CCA, Cincinnati Community Academy, which is it was a black school. It was a black private school, not private. It was like a charter school, but they weren't called charter schools back then. It was
Right.
in Madisonville, and there was probably about 250 kids in the school. And I mean, we were doing Black History Month and family oriented stuff um, every month. There was no such thing as a Black History Month when we were in that school. Every month was a Black History Month, so to speak. But there was a lot of questions that were brought up in the trade of slaves and all that type of stuff that I had that our principal, Mr. Kelly, and all them guys was installing in us. It's one thing to have a story told to you, but you kind of want certain things to be a little bit more accurate than they really were. And it's like Malcolm X kind of brought out all of any questions that you may have had about Mr. Little, which was Malcolm X. I think that movie left no questions of who he truly was. That's just my opinion. So I think that I see somebody wrote here. It looks like Lewis Johnson says Spike Lee did a horrible job with Malcolm X. The man inserted himself into the movie running it. See, I don't really agree with that. And I don't think it was even about Spike Lee. I don't know one movie that Spike Lee didn't play in back when he was coming up. And one of the real reasons why Spike Lee did it is because Spike Lee never really had a big budget. Spike Lee always ran all his money off shoestring budget, and he pretty much inserted himself in those movies to save money. And I'm sure he was an actor too, but for the most part, I mean, he had to beg for the money to do Malcolm X. He had to beg Michael Jordan and Oprah and all those people with some money. He had to beg them for that kind of money, for that kind of movie.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I'm just saying, Malcolm X was an amazing movie with Denzel Washington to me. That was one of my favorites of all time.
I thought it was a good movie. I do think, and this is kind of an offshoot, which I don't really want to get into. If I don't want to get into, then why am I bringing it up? I don't know. But
We know you, E.
but like
We'll get
like,
into
like you said, how he kind of took himself from a crook to who
Kirk the
he
Book.
ended up being, and I look at even like a Jay-Z and those guys, what Easy E, those guys who hustled and then later on became legit. And I do we respect that more
I
than
do.
people who maybe just grinded legally and kind of came up. For whatever reason, I feel like there are a whole lot of us, a whole lot of black people who respect I dealt drugs and blah blah blah, and then I parlayed that into something over somebody who's like, I would try to be straight laced my entire life,
Yeah.
and I came up.
I think that we do embrace it, but I don't have a problem with that embracing, quite frankly. I think anybody that can empower themselves from, I mean, I know it's the what is the syndrome? The kid, the make believe person who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. Who is that? Robin Hood. I don't have a problem with the Robin Hood mentality, and that is get what you can get, as long as when you get it, you do right by it. And unfortunately, we live in a dog eat dog world. We live in the strong will survive world, and you're gonna always, in my opinion, you're always gonna have some people that are going to fall by the wayside by others' actions. But now when those people do get in a position, when Jay-Z does get in a position from being where he was, when Eazy-E and them guys do make it to where they're pinnacle, the top, what are they doing to better the situation that they ruined or that they did bad to? That's important. You got to look at that. It's like Nino Brown, bro, in New Jack City. You can't be Nino. You can't tear the neighborhood up and then once on Thanksgiving pass out frozen turkeys and shit and think you making a difference. That's not it.
So I have issues with it.
Really?
Yeah. If you are, basically out there killing people, and you selling poison to people. That's the way I view drugs. You
Mhm.
selling poison to people, you killing people, you destroying, helping to destroy a community, and then
Yeah.
you parlay that and you come up. I don't respect your come up. I don't respect how
I
you
didn't. I
did
wasn't
it.
using drugs though, E. I'm sorry. I know. We said Easy E and them. I was thinking about what they used to get their come up. Not. It's not the crack that I was in. I'm sorry. I may have misunderstood the question. It wasn't the crack game that I was thinking on Easy E and his come up, because that's not what made him rich. What made him rich was the music. But what he was putting out there to the world was not the greatest thing to hit our communities either. Remember F the Police and all that type of stuff, and Crack
That was
Man,
good
Dope,
stuff.
yeah, and Dope Man, all that type of stuff was pretty
That
much.
not so much.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you can't take half of an album, side A of album. It might be great, but then if side B is bad, is it a good album or is it a bad album? You see what I'm saying? You can't say that half of it is the truth and then the other half is bad for the community. That if it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. But I just think that
I don't. I see. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think that's kind of because uh, uh, as the story goes, which I only know what I hear, kind of Easy E takes drug related funds to do the record company.
yeah,
So that's coming up using poisoning our people for
hmm,
your come up.
yeah,
And what we can look at the good part, like, oh, he came up without talking about the bad part. Jay-Z as well. We can look at, oh, he came up and now he's this. Whereas we don't talk. So I think you can look at it and you can say, yeah, after police, that was decent. That was decent.
yeah. But
And the rest of it,
the drug selling made them successful. They could have been drug dealers with bad music. The music is what made them successful. It wasn't the financing of the company.
of course it was.
No, because you
Because
got
even if they
okay.
was making, even if they were making amazing music and didn't have the finances to get it out, to record it, to do all of the things that it takes finances to do, it was definitely the drug money that made them,
In
aided
Easy
in their
E's
success.
in Easy E's case, that's not necessarily true because what happened is they were able to get that record rotated out in Compton. It became big on. I mean, they created an album with Dre and them themselves. That's what happened. They kind of made a demo. It got played. It got played out there in the West Coast. People gravitated to it on the West Coast. Easy E was selling that record locally, and then he
Right,
ran it.
but you said they recorded a demo. Where'd they get the money to record the demo?
That's the thing. That is where the drug money came in.
Right. So
I
without
get,
the drug money, do
but
the rest of the stuff happen?
you just never know because you don't know how who could have seen it. You didn't know if Jerry Heller was going to ever be able to hear that album and get it in the right hands. If they would have been doing shows and Jerry Heller would have seen, this artist that was bringing thousands of people to the arena or whatever, hundreds of people to these small skating rinks starting out. I don't know. We will never know. Now, granted, based on your logic, I'll give you that. I'm not saying that it didn't take drug money to get it started, but bro, there is a lot of drug dealers in the United States of America who put demos out and put music out and it don't go nowhere. So
Right.
you can't just say the money is what made them successful. You still got to put a product out there that people are going to want to hear. And the money can get you started, but it ain't gonna make you successful. You got to have a good product.
Yeah, but I still have a issue with the fact that we value, some of us value, look at and hold that up. Yeah,
I
he was
agree.
selling drugs, but then he parlayed that into this, as opposed to this dude who was born with nothing, maybe went to school, came up
I
with a
agree.
great idea, and just worked hard and came up and never poisoned his people. And we like, yeah, okay, that's all right. But he was a drug dealer, like
I agree, but we also live in a society right now, where a dude who never sold drugs, who talk about drugs selling in his music, is the number one rap artist for a long period of time, and that would be Rick Ross. Rick Ross was not a drug dealer. Rick Ross was a correctional officer. He can perp all he wants to. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. I like MMG. I like their music. I like the music. But he is he's a nonfiction. He's a fictional character. He's not what he say he is. And we do live in that society. I mean, that's really making your point that we would rather hear the bad shit. We would rather hear the um we would rather hear the grimy and the come up and the grind and how we made it. We would rather hear that versus somebody that may have sat in the back of the classroom or sat in the front of the classroom, got straight A's, had to walk over crack pipes to get to their apartment. Let's just use Michelle Obama as an example. She's from Chicago, inner city of Chicago. I mean, she made a pretty good lip. She did good with her life. I can name several others. We don't really adore them until they get into a prominent position. But what about our everyday regular folk? You see, those are the ones that we don't get to shine to. And I think, making your point even stronger, those are the ones that we truly need to start congratulating and using as our examples and saying, "Hey, let's be more like that kid."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you.
All right. What else on your mind? Like I said, I didn't want that to be a whole thing.
Well, it was getting there because when it comes to the music industry, bro, I love to have that conversation
And
sometimes.
look, let me. I don't I don't mess with the music industry now. There is, I guess it passed me by. There is nothing about the current state of hip hop that I that
Is
I
that what
listen
it is,
to, that
man?
I enjoy, that like I don't you name if you name 5 rappers, the top ones, I probably heard of one. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get with what's out there now, and I mean I guess part of that, me being a person who sings, who likes actual singing,
Right,
I
right.
just I can't get with
You don't like
rap
all the auto tunes and all that
that
stuff, right?
I can't get with it that much. Like every once in a while, I'll hear something and I'll be like, that's kind of catchy.
Yeah.
But then when I start listening to the lyrics and I'll be like, oh, that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right. Well,
So I just
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I let rap go a long time ago. The beats are hot. DJ Khaled and them guys, they put great music together. Like my daughters and them don't like me because I love to play instrumentals. I mean, I just don't like, it used to be a day, especially in the real singing days of Jodeci and some of these guys, Casey and them guys, they're even Mary J. Blige. I mean, she wasn't the greatest singer, but her voice became one of the instruments. That's how I see music. I see music as the voice has to be it. There's a drum, or organ, and flutes and all these instruments. The voice has to be another instrument. That's how I used to see it.
yeah.
And I don't know if it's like that these days, bro. I don't think that I think the auto tune and all that creates a whole nother sound that now is in place of an instrument. And it's not so. And let's talk about the lyrics. uh, you know, I don't want to sound like an old ass man, but I like the days when the lyrics played a story out, and it was smooth and nice, and it set the tone. Today's lyrics is, let's go home with the Netflix and chill so I can pop it and do bang and be over with it. You see what I'm saying? It promotes a whole nother fast pace of life. And that's just my opinion. I know some people don't think different, but I
And I
think
and I and I always ask this, and last time I asked this, Raven kind of called in and kind of couldn't think of anybody. But I was asking, is there an Anita Baker for the hip hop community? some female out there who's just talking about love. Uh, is there? Because I don't listen to the radio much.
Neither do
Are
I.
there any actual love songs going on in the hip hop community? Not do it songs, love songs about how I love her and I'll do whatever it takes to get her type of love. Are there? And I'm asking for you and anybody who listens to the current state of hip hop. Are they making love songs now?
Yeah, it's just a different kind of it's a different kind of love song, bro. I mean, I don't know if they make music, and I don't know because like I'm like you, I don't listen to the radio, and I don't really have a favorite artist, new artist today. When it comes to R&B, so I don't know, but I just know that it's a rushed. If it's a love song, it's a get straight to the panties. It ain't no let's go to dinner first. Let's how old school shit was getting, or we beat around the bush, get to the whatever. But now it's the Netflix and chill straight to the bang type shit. I don't know. But I mean, that go for rap music too, though, bro. Rap music is way different.
That's what I'm saying. Rap music. Is there I remember not too long ago, Tank was doing a interview or something. He was on a podcast or something, and he was talking about the fact that him as an artist, he'd love to make a song like what that the gay white dude Sam Smith. That song "Stay With Me."
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was saying he'd love to be able to make that song, but the record companies and whatnot don't want him to make that song, and because they don't want to talk about black love. And I'm
Oh,
like, as a hip hop artist, a rapper, can you rap uh, loves a "Stay With Me" because you're all I need love song? Or is that like totally? I mean, I know you want to hit. Okay, I know you want to hit, and you're gonna tell me graphically how you want to hit. All
right.
right. So I know that. But
I
what
don't know.
about love? Like, are there hip hop rap love songs? That's
I'm getting these LL Cool J I Need Love vibes from you right now. And you talking about a song like that? A rap song that covers love like that? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, if the our young people are listening to hip hop, because that's for the most part, that's what they listening to, hip hop.
Okay.
And they never hear about love. And we know some of them don't see it at home. Some of them don't see love at home, or at least a healthy version of love at home.
Okay.
And you listening to the music, and so you don't even hear a healthy version of what love looks like in the music. That's as I heard somebody say, they weaponized music against the black community.
That's for sure, bro. That there's no doubt in my mind. See, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a question that's been running through my mind for a long time. And maybe this is a great day to bring this up. But can someone in the audience, or maybe yourself, E, can you name me one genre of music that goes in on their women or on their people, or who advertises a certain lifestyle that's so destructive more than rap music? I'll leave I'll leave hip I'll leave R&B out of that. I'm talking more on hip hop.
Hmm.
For anybody that has, what genre of music does it like what we do? You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand my
I,
question? Like,
I do. I understand your question, and I don't know that they do. Ross just said heavy metal. I've listened to a little bit. I can't really get with heavy metal like that, but the heavy metal that I've listened to, and trying to explain, because I'm this is a little bit of a side thing too. I'm not one of those people who have to be well rounded. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I
yeah,
listen to white people music too. Then
yeah,
I,
now
I
that one,
listen to I listen to what I like, and if
right,
I don't like it, I kind of don't listen to it,
right,
and I'm
understand.
comfortable with that. Um, but there was a time when I was trying to be a little more well-rounded, have more influences for the songs that I was writing and whatnot. And so I listened to a little bit of everything. And when I lived in Alabama, my cousin, who I rode to work with, I mean, to school with every day, he was a hardcore country music fan. I've listened to a little bit of everything to a certain degree. And even
Mhm.
in heavy metal, I don't hear the kind of, I'm going to say hatred for white people that I hear hatred for black people in a lot of this rap music. I don't hear it, or I didn't
Yeah.
hear it.
I'm thinking when you talk rock music, when I was coming up, it was more about um if there was a negative spin to it, it was devil worship type stuff,
Yeah,
Satanism type of thing in
right.
rock music. Keep in mind, we're talking heavy metal, that one kind.
Hmm.
That, I think these guys was biting the heads off bats and stuff like that. I remember those days.
And there
But
was some kind of anti-society stuff,
sure, sure.
kind of Rage Against the Machine type of stuff, but not. Yeah,
Yeah, but what when we get to the twerking and putting our women out there and advertising and making our women feel, because you got to understand, man, one of the things that I've learned in this new era, and some people may not agree with me on this, but we are passing on a serious problem of self-esteem within our little girls. Little girls, I don't have a problem with them. They have to feel pretty, okay? And that's not just because of men. Girls tend to want to be pretty for other girls, not on that sexual thing. They just don't want to be talked about by other little girls. Like if their nails are bad or whatever, I don't think you are going to be like, damn, girl, get your nails done. But another woman will have that in their mind. And another woman will have some shit to say about another woman's makeup and how they look and feel, how they look about themselves. And I remember one time in my younger days, this one girl walked into the night. She walked into a nightclub. She was the bomb, bro. She had on this black, like the Pump It Hottie dress, redhead kingpin type shit. Remember they used to wear the Pump It Hottie dresses and stuff. She
yeah.
had one of them motherfuckers on, bro. And she came in, and I tried to holler. And when I tried to talk to her, I didn't understand why she had so much of an attitude. And I didn't get it. Maybe I wasn't her type and all that. I get it. But her response to me was one I didn't understand. And it was, I said, well, why you bring that hot ass dress out here? You looking real good and blah, 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 blah. And then she tells me, well, I didn't wear this for no guys anyway. And I, of course, didn't understand because I'm young. I didn't understand what she meant. But a lot of guys got this perception that women are dressing up looking great out here for men. And a lot of them are not. A lot of them are just out here trying to look like they kept, or they trying to look like their life is better than another woman, and they trying not to get talked about. Now, I don't know if you agree with that or not, but a lot of these women are not dressing up looking great because they trying to get a man, or are they doing it for a man? A lot of them, some are doing this because they just don't want other women thinking that they don't have what they have, or they
I
not as,
I
you
think
know,
that is a thing. It does exist, but I think that a whole lot of it is, they're dressing a particular way to attract a man. If they're in the market for
I
a
know.
man, they are dressing in a particular way to
So
attract
let me ask you,
a
Gar.
man.
All right, I don't really want to bring Miss Livingston in as Mrs. Pardon me, but
All
if
right.
she go out with her girlfriends, man, and they get all
Hmm.
dressed up,
Hmm.
she's not going out to get another dude, bro. She's going out because she wants to look nice that night amongst the females. It has nothing to do with going out with other women and they're trying to attract men. Women want to look nice for other women because they have this thing that they have to make sure they part of.
It
That's
all
just my
depend.
opinion.
I think it all depend on what she walk out the door wearing, because you can look nice without advertising all your goods. You know what I'm saying? If she walking out and I can see the bottom of her booty cheeks, and I can, see her titties all popped out. You
I
ain't
was
just
trying not to
you.
go all in that space, bro.
But
What are
I'm saying if Mrs. Livingston tell me I'm going out with my girls and she go walking by and I see ass cheeks sticking out the bottom of her dress, hold on, you ain't going out to
you in
impress your
trouble,
girls looking like that. That's
right?
not what that outfit is designed for. I know it, you know it, everybody know it. So
Yeah,
she don't go out looking like that because hopefully she ain't trying to attract no other man. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So I think there's a
But she
difference.
can wear a pumped hottie dress. Okay, she can wear that, and it cannot show the cheeks, and she looked respectful, but yet a little everything. Some things are kind of out there, but that don't mean she going out there to try to get another man.
I mean, and again, it all
Some women
depend
like to
on
show their physique, the
it all
work they
depend
put
on
in.
what she wearing and how she wearing it. I would know. I like to think I would know.
I would hope.
Uh, I would like to think I would know. You never really know, but I would like to think
We
that I
like
would
to
know.
pray that we know.
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's certain things I wouldn't let her wear out the house. I just would not. When I think about it, I can't say that she has outfits like that. When I'm trying to think, and I can't really say that she has outfits that fit that description. But
Mm,
I mean, even some of her uh uh more conservative stuff, the form fitting and all of that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
She does have an outfit or two that I'm like, you not no, you don't get to wear that unless I'm with you. You don't
Okay.
get to wear that unless I'm with you.
So
And
y'all
you
got
can
dress code rules.
not really. Again, it's
Yes,
just
I
it's
don't
just
like it.
no, it's just one or two outfits that she look a certain way, and I'm like the reason why you say I'm insecure if you want to. I'm not really insecure,
I
but
don't think so.
I know when you walk out the door looking like that, I know who looking at you. Your girls might be like, "Oh, you so cute," but I know that dude like, damn. Imagine him what he would do with all of that. No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Some
That's
guys like that though, E. Some guys like the fact that their woman is unbelievably gorgeous and other men fantasize or
man.
even try to get with them. Some guys like that. Some I'm not really an insecure guy. But at the same time, I'm not trying to have my wife go out there and be like looking so good that everybody trying to hit on her, and I'm hoping that the right guy, the wrong guy, the right guy
Right.
don't come along and
Yeah.
shit.
No,
You know what
you're
I'm saying?
right. Right.
But
And so that's why I say it's one or two that, you know, nah, she couldn't. Now I've never had to say to her, get back. You take that off. You know what I'm saying? I think she know. Like, because she ain't trying to go out there and get chose. So, she'll wear that outfit with me.
yeah,
But, her and the girls going out, she don't go out there like that. She don't do that.
I understand. Well, I tell you what, Lakeisha Baker Shahid, I believe she said something that I believe. She says, so she coming home to you. Don't nobody want something that don't nobody else want. I buy that. I buy that. I mean,
Look,
I'm on
Lakeisha.
board with that comment.
Lakeisha. Now I can say this because this is my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Lakeisha. Um, your husband, I ain't gonna say his name unless you want to say his name.
Uh-oh.
He ain't letting you go out showing all your goods. It's just not happening. It's a difference between don't nobody want somebody that don't nobody else want, and I'm about to go out there and turn these ends heads. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
different there's some space between that. Yeah, she coming home to me. Yeah, she coming home to me. But at the same time, it's a respect thing. It's uh uh it's a lot involved in it where no, it's just certain stuff that I and not that she's trying to, like I said, stuff hanging out. She ain't trying to because that she ain't that type of person. But there's a certain way that she dresses, and there is an outfit or two that I've seen her put on when we were going somewhere that I was thinking ain't no way in the world you wearing this when I'm not with you. Ain't no way. Because I know what's gonna happen. I know I'm married to you. I'm with you every night. You put on that outfit and I'm fantasizing about what I'm gonna do to you later tonight. I know what dude over there is thinking when he see you.
Right, right.
You know what
So
I'm
you
saying?
don't really want that to happen. You just
No.
want to make sure that you the only one fantasizing.
Well, look, I'm sure other people fantasize,
Okay.
but you know, you ain't gotta put it in their head. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
fantasize about these. Like, no, what you
Got
doing?
you. I got you.
No.
Hey, I need to change the subject for a second, man. And we talking about all this, and it kind of it's starting to get explicit. Starting to get to the sex type game, the way you talking about these and all that old shit. But quick thing, man. What is this shit with Tiffany Haddish? My girl.
Uh,
What
uh,
the LL Cool J is going on?
let me say that. For those of you who are not aware, Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, they're
Yes.
being sued right now by a young lady. I think she's like 22. Says when she was younger, I think she was 14 and her brother was 7. Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, uh, they say sexually molested them. They say that, yeah, they had them do this little skit, which some people, they had them do this little thing and they recorded it, which I haven't
Recorded.
watched it. Yeah,
Whoa.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. A number of people have sent me the video. I'm not going to
Whoa.
watch it. Okay. But everybody that sent it to me said this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
And apparently, the mom and Tiffany Haddish, either they were friends or frenemies or something.
Mm.
But I guess Tiffany Haddish people are saying that this mom has been trying to get Tiffany Haddish and get money out of Tiffany Haddish for years. But now that this daughter is of age, they're using her as an agent to get to her and get some money out of them. So the Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish are accused of molesting these young people, paying them $100, molesting them, and just being inappropriate with them. So they're being sued. And look, I don't know what happened. And this is the position I would love for almost everybody to take. They won't, but this is the position I would love for everybody to take.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I don't know who knew what. I don't know who did what. But if they did that, what they're accused of doing, that's horrible. And they should have to pay for that financially. And now, they've reached out to the let me see, wait a minute, because I got the story pulled
Let
up
me ask you this: why
here.
you set that up? Why should they only have to be punished financially if these were underage kids? Why
Well,
isn't
no,
there some type of criminal charge being
That's
put
what,
forth?
that's I was just about to say.
Okay.
Apparently, this young lady has reached out to the L.A. District Attorney and said to them, "We want you guys to act on the case." They said, "Look, we are here. We are willing to participate." They said, "We have enough information." Here's a direct quote: "My brother and I are prepared to speak with investigators and prosecutors from your office and provide you with irrefutable evidence that substantiates our allegations."
They have
So
video. They have more video. I
I,
guarantee you they do.
they're saying we want the district attorney. We want them to pay. That's what I believe the position of the people should be. If they did what they're accused of doing, they should pay financially and they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But
Yeah.
here's my fear, and these are the posts that I've seen. uh Tiffany Haddish is a celebrity and she wouldn't do that. That's just somebody trying to scam her. Aries Spears is a celebrity. He wouldn't do that. They got too much to lose. They would never do something like that. I think what they was trying to do was come up with a PSA, and it just was taken. Not everybody, but a number of posts I've seen just since this broke has been this celebrity worship. And I really would love it if we would get out of celebrity worship. People said that same thing about R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't do that. That's just people trying to. People said that same thing about Bill Cosby. Oh, Bill Cosby, they just don't want him about NBC. It's always
Well,
some excuse.
I had questions. My questions in the Bill Cosby situation was not based on celebrity whatsoever. It was
But
it was a
but a
little
lot
different.
of people's work.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
agree with
people's
that.
work.
I
And
agree.
that's all I'm saying. Like, look, if you got legit questions, that's one thing. But right now we have no information. So how can you automatically jump to the conclusion that because they're celebrities, they didn't do it? Celebrity worship is dangerous. And I want people to move away from that. I'm not automatically saying they did what they're accused of doing. I'm not doing that. But I'm
Well,
not
what I'm
automatically
saying
saying
though,
they didn't do it either.
yeah, but what I'm hearing out here and what is there's video evidence. And a lot of people are saying, even in these comments that I'm looking on the screen, who've seen it, they're saying it's gross. They're saying it's totally inappropriate. And that's a smoking gun to me. In a world of if you're gonna file a not just a lawsuit or criminal charges, that's a smoking gun. A video. Look at what got R. Kelly convicted. It was a bunch of rumors, and then eventually, this many years later, 30 years later, people that are 40 years old are now coming forward saying that they were 17, they were 15, they were 14. And we have someone on video with Tiffany Haddix and Aries Spears that is underage. And some touching and some fondling and all that is going on, bro. That's a smoking gun to me. Now, to your point of why do people believe celebrities won't commit these type of crimes? I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from, because I have to jump on my man Cat Williams' coattail on this. Cat Williams been trying to tell us about that little circle for a long time, but Cat Williams has been demonized as being a drug addict, getting in trouble all the time. But Cat Williams went on a radio interview one time and just let it be known that Tiffany Haddish and that whole circle up to some shit, man. Like nobody moves through the industry that fast unless they're part of that particular circle. And that circle being kids, like Terry Crews was saying. He put Russell Simmons and all of them on blast. And there is a level of dysfunction that go on in Hollywood, and it does take advantage of a lot of our babies. And for us to just sit back and think, because these are celebrities, that they're not
Right.
capable of doing these things is just ridiculous to me, brother. That's ridiculous to me. And Kat told us. She said, "Hey, we got people out here who've been in the trenches. Monique and all these guys, these women that's been out here trying to fight, equality for us and this and this and that. And it be that same child porn group that try to make shit slow for people like Monique and some other people out there. Cat Williams was letting them have it. And a lot of people didn't really listen to what he was talking about. Tiffany Haddish, unfortunately, someone that I know that I look, I don't put it past anybody to do those things, to be honest with you. Once you have children, you see life you just take life different. Things
Yeah.
I'm a very protective father, and I was one of them fathers that um I wouldn't let my kids just go anywhere. And I would be, I was very selective on babysitting and all that type of stuff because, me having a young mother, I had a babysitter that it wasn't the babysitter that was doing something to me, but it was the babysitter's daughter. I was very fortunate, if you want to call it that. But I had a young lady, I had a babysitter who had a daughter that was a little older than me, and she was fast. And that kind of opened my world up a lot sooner than it should have been of seeing things and touching things and feeling stuff. But I you know it, I just I remember those things, and you have to be careful where you put your kids.
Yes.
And that's why I said that about R. Kelly. When you got these 14, 13-year-old girls, where were these girls' parents at that time?
Well, I mean, and clearly in that R. Kelly case, a lot of those parents was just pimping their kids out. That's
Yep,
the way that I see it.
of
You
course.
you you letting your 15, 13, 14 year old daughter go to a hotel room with R. Kelly, especially after all of the allegations have already been out there. because oh, she could sing and he might be able to make her a star. You pimping your child.
Yeah,
But
sure.
with this Tiffany Haddish Aries Spears thing, again, I don't know who did what. I don't know who did what. I don't know. Apparently, even Tiffany looks back on the skit like it was supposed to be funny, but it clearly wasn't funny, and I regret doing it. And believe it or not, I could see that. I could see. Look, y'all, I've been on the radio for over 20 years. I've said some things that was intended to be funny, and then
Look back.
somebody says something and you like, oh, you're right. That wasn't funny at all. I
Yeah.
mean, I said it, in a joking manner, but when I look back, I was wrong. So I can understand that, and that might be her position. But with the allegations that are out there, I just because you're a celebrity, you don't get a pass. I'm still looking at you thinking maybe.
Right.
Maybe. Hold on, I got a call coming in. CK's calling in. Let's get
I'm
CK
Team
in
CK.
here. CK?
I'm Team.
Praise God. How y'all doing, man?
CK, we're good.
Hey,
CK,
what's up, Mr. Wyatt? Yeah, hey, I think her name Angela Kenny. She said call in and tell us what you thought of the video, because apparently I'm the only one in the comment section that watched it.
You watched it?
The Tiffany Haddix.
Hold on, let me ask you before you even start. And I'm not accusing, but why did you watch it?
I wanted to, because hey, you know me. I'm thinking like, man, they over. You know what I'm saying? Exaggerating. Like and I wanted to see if it was going, if it was like what they were saying, if it was as bad as people say, because they're going to make, if you don't watch something, they're going to make it seem like, but I had to see, I watch stuff that normal, like I watch P-Valleys. Most men won't watch it, but I'll watch it. I'll be like, damn, okay, now I know why y'all don't watch it. But I'm not going to sit there and not watch it and just listen to what other people say.
That makes sense.
You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm Team CK. I'm with you. He'd rather see something for himself and voice his own opinion.
I'm not going to go. Reason why I'm going to watch the Tiffany Haddix Aries Spears, because I'm a big fan of Tiffany Haddix. Aries Spears, he's cool, but I love Tiffany. So, all right, y'all say she did it. Let me say she did it. I'm not finna go by I'm not no hater like that. See, most people going to hate on words. I'm going to go see the story. All right, let me watch it. I ain't make the damn tape and stop trying to shame people that watched it. Nah, it's on YouTube. It's not illegal to watch a video that's on YouTube. I can see if it was child porn, then you could have a case like, why you going to watch it? This is just a skit. This is a comedy skit. But you got a lot of people trying to act like, oh, I'm not watching it. All right, cool, that's you. But don't try to shame the people that watched it. It's just a comedy skit. Well, you know what I mean?
Well, maybe it may just be a comedy skit, or it may be you watching somebody molest somebody.
Yeah, but what's comedy about that? I'm trying to find the comedy.
But I seen the Bill Cosby Tiffany Haddix. That's why I was thinking. I thought I had seen it before. I'm like, is this one I had seen? But it was the Bill Cosby. So I watched this one, and I said, oh. But this my thoughts on it, gentlemen.
All right.
I think you got to be out your mind. Okay, you can make a PCA. Okay, say if you're making a rape PCA, that's a grown woman, right? So she could say yes or no. But I think if you're making a child molesting PCA, you better use a grown person that looks like a child. I don't think you should use an actual child, or this is the repercussions you're gonna face. You feel me? Because I think by watching what I seen, I don't think it was right. I think you a sick person to come up with that type of skit. Like, what the hell? How did you think of that? And why would you want to put a child in that type of skit? I'm saying if you was gonna do a funny thing, at least use a decoy, like an 18-year-old that looks like a child, like they do on the To Catch a Predator thing. But I think that's where Tiffany and Aries messed up. She used her friend's kids, where she should have used them for another part. And I think it's bitterness because their career didn't pan out. But I do think you shouldn't use children for these type of roles, because I think it messes up their head. I think you need to be at least like 25 before you make decisions like that. You know what I mean? To play those kind of sick roles, because those have the even as grown men, if we decide to play a gay role like on P Valley, that's going to have psychological effects. So imagine what you're doing to a child by having them play those type of roles. So I think you have to take some kind of accountability by putting yourself in that. You feel me, gentlemen?
I hear you. I understand what you're saying.
I got you, CK.
Let me ask you this, CK. You say you watched it and you did not think it was funny.
Hell no, it was sick. It was as bad. It was worse. I really thought it was worse than what I expected, than what people were telling me. I was disappointed. But Aries is a little pedophile. He looked like a pedo. He got it in his eyes. He's the perfect person to play a pedophile. I give him that. But why would you do that to children? See, I think the children do have a legitimate, you know what I mean, a legitimate cause where they probably was psychologically affected. I can see, you know, them like, you need to do this, you need to do this. But like, if you're dealing with children, you can't treat children like they're adults. As an adult, okay, I can say, you want to play this gay role? You can say as a grown man, yes or no. But as a child, I think they feel obligated to, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm trying to do this for my parents, or I'm trying to do this for Tiffany. So that's why I think that's where I felt they was wrong, you know, and I want to know y'all opinion about the actors being children.
All right,
well, using adult actors.
But let me ask you this. So if you feel like they were wrong in using the children, do you believe? And I know this might be a stretch because your history on Bill Cosby, you know, your take on him, and your history and your take on R. Kelly.
See, there you go, lying. Why do media people? That's how you can tell. Randall, he's from the street, you from the media. I never supported R. Kelly. You keep saying that shit. People want to know, why do you always lump them motherfuckers together? And I never supported R. Kelly. Why do media people just lie for no reason?
CK, I didn't say
Bill Cosby and R. Kelly two different people, man.
All I said was your position on them is well known.
Yeah, I said R. Kelly is guilty. Bill Cosby is innocent. You keep on acting like I said both of them motherfuckers is innocent.
CK.
Why you keep lumping them together?
Because they both did bad stuff, CK. They both did bad stuff.
And one of them it was proven on tape.
Can I?
And one of them, it was fake.
Can I get my question? Can I get my question now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you believe that what they did was inappropriate, even just with the video, would you be willing to say, you know, you don't support them no more because of the way that they misuse these children? Or are you like, well, I mean, they are celebrities, so they get to make a mistake and, you know, molest a kid or two here and there, and I still support them?
No, I don't think they molested the kid. I think it's psychological. I think everything they did was legal.
Okay, so they wait. So okay, CK. So they get. So is your position? It's cool. They psychologically damaged some kids, but I still support them because, you know, they are celebrities. Or are you like, I'm done with
human. I mean, no. I'm saying I feel you psychologically damaged some kids with the rhetoric you speak on the radio. I mean, you don't feel it, but I don't feel at the time. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think. I think from their point of view, they thought they were doing a good thing. But times have changed. Why don't you think this came out? It took 15 years. If it really was that, they would have said it the moment they seen it. This is the world now. So no, I'm not gonna come down on them because then it was cool to make those. Well, that's why they didn't. It wasn't a big deal.
It was
in 2007.
No, it was a big deal.
No, it wasn't.
And
the whole world has changed. You know, I used to deliver. You remember how Eddie Murphy used to say the F word? The world has changed in the last 6 years. They wouldn't make that now. Tiffany and Aries would not make that.
Now. You know, you don't know that. You don't know if they would make it now or not.
She said it. Oh my God! She said she regretted, sir. She said she regretted making that video.
She said she regretted after she got sued. Yeah, she regretted now that she got sued. Where was she 3 weeks ago saying she regretted it?
Right. That's a good point. But remember that this all came about because of Aries Spears' criticism of Lizzo, and I think Mr. Wyatt knows that as a fact. That's why this came out, this controversy.
That's not why this came out.
Those comments,
they filed a lawsuit, bro. That's why this came out. A lawsuit was filed.
No, but Lizzo got attacked last week by Aries, and this is the get back.
They
Look at the
didn't.
timing, Mr.
No.
Wyatt. What's your opinion? Do you think it's related anyway?
Okay, you're saying because of Aries Spears, his attack on Lizzo, you're thinking that has something to do with now this tape being put out?
Yeah, it was right then. The timing is everything. You can't dismiss timing.
He might have a point. I mean, there's a level.
Emmanuel is
there's a level of consistency.
Prove a black man wrong. You need to get that together.
There's a level.
You get mad.
There's a level of consistency that you drag people through when you're trying to ruin them, and he might have a point. I'm not saying that he's 100% right or 100% wrong.
You think every nigga wrong. He don't believe in black men. If a black man tells us some shit is wrong,
he doesn't.
I tried to tell him about the dude there 28 years, man. You need to look in the mirror, man. You need counseling, bro.
He doesn't have a point. Here's why he doesn't have a point, Wyatt and CK. Here's why here's why, in my view, you don't have a valid point.
Yes,
apparently, according to the attorneys, this woman has been pursuing this for years. This didn't just happen after Aries Spears said something about Lizzo. This woman has been pursuing the two of them about this for years.
So
and this is according to Tiffany Haddish's attorney anyway.
But you heard nothing about it until Aries Spears' comments on Lizzo, sir. You heard nothing about this. Why did it get dropped now? Why do you play stupid? You seen the timing means something. It dropped soon as he made them comments. Why wouldn't they say, if it'd been years ago, why weren't they talking about it years ago?
Because oh my God.
You institutionalized.
Oh my God. Because now they finally, this young woman finally filed her lawsuit.
Right.
If you really think about it, the majority of the attention is going towards Tiffany Haddish and not Aries Spears. So if anything, that whole Lizzo thing, this wipes all of that out. So you can forget about that. All the attention.
Damage, Mr. Livingston.
Oh my goodness.
That's only because Tiffany Haddish is the bigger star. If Aries Spears was the bigger star, all the attention would be going on him.
Well, I agree. So but to say that these people only filed this lawsuit because Aries Spears said something negative about Lizzo last week.
Well, there's a possibility that the timing in it has something to do with that, E. Because if he's already in the media, it escalates, it magnifies what's being presented now. It's all about timing. You don't want to do certain things in the media when everything is hot. You want to do things, it's calculated. You want to do things to people when it will be at its highest peak and it can only grow and continue to grow. And if Aries Spears is currently in the media for something that he said and that he did, there's a strong possibility that this hits the media right there after him to keep that wildfire lit. That's what happens sometimes.
Well, here's what I learned. And I didn't get a chance to ask. I had one more question for CK, but he had to go. But so he believes, because I think this is a direct quote, everybody make mistakes. So for him, if you damage a child, I still support you because everybody get an opportunity to damage one or two kids.
Shit, I don't know if I got that. Is that what you got out of that?
What did you get? What did you get?
I might have zoned out, bro. I might have fucking zoned out on that one, to be honest with you. I don't know what I got. Let me tell you. Hold on. I think I zoned out on that one, E, because what I thought he was trying to say was, I'm not saying that he don't think that Aries Spears and them are guilty. I just think that he's thinking that this came out at a time that was big for Aries Spears while he was already out in the media on some other shit, talking about the Lizzo girl. And that's all. I don't know if he's saying that these people aren't guilty or not. I mean, he said he's seen the video and he didn't like it. It's obvious that he feel like something wrong was done there. But the timing in it coming out Why didn't it come out a year ago if they've been pursuing it for years?
So,
Why didn't
all
it come
right.
out
I,
next week?
I don't know, but let me ask you. Well, if it would have came out next week, then we'd have said because 2 weeks ago, Aries Spears said something negative about Lizzo, and if it had came out next month, we'd have said, well, because a month ago somebody said something, or if it had been next year, we'd have said, well, remember last year when Aries Spears said something about Lizzo? So no matter when it came out, after he said something, y'all would be saying, some of y'all would be saying, the only reason it came out is because he said that thing about Lizzo and they trying to destroy him.
Yeah,
Which
your point is valid if this was a year from now. Yeah, you're right. But it coming that clash of a soon, there might have been one last attempt at Tiffany Haddish and them and saying, hey, now y'all see Spears, Aries Spears dude is in the media. This is gonna catch wildfire if this shit get out here. My problem in it is all this, bro. I think there should be a criminal investigation. There should be a criminal, if they have the smoking gun, which is the video, there should be a criminal investigation and some charges should be filed before a civil suit, because that's what this is a civil suit. And when you let civil suits lead the way, I see motive there. Okay, but
well,
in this particular case, with them having video, bro, this is a proven smoking gun case, and I lose respect for anybody that's involved dealing with children, and they have them on video. This is child porn, child pornography. You can classify this as child pornography if they have video and record of it. I can't rock
well,
with them on
well,
this.
what they're trying to say with regard to the video is the video was a PSA, and it was supposed to meant to be comedic, yet at the same
That's
time have
another
a
thing,
message.
bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your point, but
No,
I've
that's all
heard
right.
this
Go ahead.
too many times of it was a PSA and it was supposed to have a comedy. Who engages comedy in such a horrific situation in kids' life? How do you add? Look, comedy is supposed to bring laughter and relief to people, but you don't add comedy to trauma situations. How do you
I,
add
uh,
comedy?
I, I don't know about that.
I don't see how you could add comedy. I can
You,
see a serious PSA, but I don't see
yeah,
how you incorporate comedy with
I
child
could see it.
porn.
I could see it.
Really? I gotta
Yeah,
hear. I gotta hear.
yeah. You as a comedian. I've heard a number of comedians talking because I am not a comedian. But as a comedian, I could see a comedian saying, look, I'm taking this situation. Comedians do it all the time. I'm taking this horrible situation, this tragic situation, this whatever situation. I'm putting it out there because I'm a comedian. Yeah, I want you to laugh, but at the same time, I want you to think. So, and that's the brilliance. A brilliant comedian can do that. A brilliant comedian can take a horrible situation, make you laugh about it, and make you think about it. Dave Chappelle did a piece about Michael Jackson molesting boys. Hilarious, but it made you think. Like, wait a minute. So there is a way to do it. Again, I didn't see the video. Apparently, the video wasn't funny, and it wasn't the way to do it, but it can be done.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, but I don't agree with it. I see where you're saying, and Dave Chappelle is excellent at it. However, there's a difference between things that are right or wrong. I've seen Dave Chappelle use racism in a comedy skit, and he'll stand up there and make a serious. I mean, I've heard him say some things about Shirley, some prominent people, and yes, it had a little funny tone to it. He talked about how she had cousins that ran with her when she was trying to release slaves and all that. I heard all that type of shit. It's funny to some people, but it's not funny to some conscious people. It's not fun. All that shit is not funny to everybody. But
Right.
what I'm trying to figure out is how do we incorporate comedy with child pornography? I can't find it. I can't find a comedian that could make the shit funny for me. I don't know if my favorite comedian could convert that over to a laugh for me. I just
And
don't
I
know.
look, and I'm not again. It apparently wasn't funny. I've yet to read anything on social media or hear anybody say nah, bro, that was funny. Well, that's not true. I did see one person on here. I don't know exactly who it was, but somebody on the messages said, I just watched it and it was funny. That's the
Really?
only person that I've ever read say that this was actually funny.
So let me understand, because I haven't seen it. Are they saying that the message is funny, or is what's going on in the skit funny?
I'm
You
not
see what I'm saying?
sure. I'm not sure, but somebody on here said they saw the video and it was funny. I'm trying to scroll through the comments and see if I can bring it up. But yeah,
And I would
somebody on
think,
here said it.
and I since I don't know who said that or who made that comment, I feel comfortable saying this without trying to make it sound like I'm attacking someone. But there's certain things in life that if certain type of mentality people laugh at it, there's probably some things that they find. If you find certain things like that to be appealing and funny, there might be some things going on in their life that we don't understand, that they may be going through, that we don't, that we don't do, that they do, and they find it appealing and funny. I just don't find that appealing or funny. I can't find it. I can't find funny. When you do something like child pornography or kids being kidnapped or something, to use a funny skit to get the point across is just it's in a dark spot to me. That's a dark place for me. That's not what Dave Chappelle does. Dave Chappelle brings awareness to a situation and makes that awareness kind of comical. Like for instance, if you want to talk about child pornography or some shit like that and try to make it funny, you got to try to attack the people that are doing it, make them funny and or something. But I don't even think that's what it is. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak on the video. I don't think I'm gonna watch the video because
I'm not.
it's a dark spot. It's somewhere that I can't imagine somebody can turn funny. I just don't know if I can find myself to do that. E.
And Jerica says, so what are you going through, E? Man, you laugh at most awkward things. Yeah, I
Wait,
do.
let me see if I can.
I didn't laugh at that because I didn't see it. For example, I do laugh at awkward things. I saw this video of a ride in India, one of them drop zone rides. You ever rode one of them? And this ride, when it dropped, something went wrong and the brakes didn't hit and it crashed to the ground.
Don't say you laugh, bro.
It was horrible.
And you
It was
laugh?
horrible. But
No.
I got this condition, man. See, that's what you have to understand. I got this condition. And, some stuff that I don't think is funny, I can't help it. What I'm feeling inside don't match with what happens outside. So laughing about something is one thing, but saying, now that's funny, that's something different. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch a video of children getting molested potentially, and you like, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's different than, so sometimes, even, minus my condition, sometimes I'll see something
Condition.
and yes, I can't help it, bro. Don't, the Disabilities Act or whatever protects me. Don't.
Let me ask you, do you get a check for that condition, bro? That's all I need to know.
I don't.
Okay.
I probably could, but I'm not that type of person. But sometimes you see something that tickle you a little bit for whatever reason. It startles you, and it might be a little, but then you're not like, that's funny. You like, I don't know why that made me laugh, because that's horrible.
Yeah.
So,
It
there
won't be a
is
child porn one, though. It will
no.
never be a child porn for me. E, I got a call coming in. You want to take that?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see if I can get it going. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the King and I. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, Wyatt. This is Fane Rothstein,
Hey, Fane.
a.k.a. Check, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. How we doing today?
Good evening. Good evening, Fane. What's happening with you, brother?
Nothing. I was just hearing the conversation, and my thing would be like, I have no interest at all in seeing that video. If it's any way close to what the people described it. Like I seen it, described in text, when it first came out, it was like, I have no interest in watching that. It's just like these sick bastards who was watching that boy die off the roller coaster a couple months back.
Yeah.
people who like, what's going to happen. Why are you watching that?
I'm sorry, I missed what he said. It's like watching what?
Any of that. You people are sick.
I missed it.
If you're interested in seeing something like that, you're probably the type who would lend himself to being a child molester, a chomo.
I don't want the shit on my computer. I'm just
I
telling
don't want it on my computer. I don't want it in my conscience.
Yeah. But E missed your first comment. What part? Where were you? What didn't you hear, E? I mean, where was it? Because you were trying to ask him something.
Yeah, he said it's kind of like, and then he gave an example, and I missed the example.
What was the example? You said it's kind of like, and you went out on it.
When Big Boy got on the roller coaster with his field trip several months back.
Oh, yeah. The kid that fell off the round thing, the big guy. You talking about the big football player kid?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's some shit.
It's just certain shit I'm not interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Especially, and most of it's going to involve kids being hurt. So if you're watching that, you're probably a miscreant that were involved in themselves in some child porn, that type of thing. If you have the stomach to watch that, everybody's got a moral compass, but if you have the stomach to watch that, you're probably the type that would do that. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, Fame, have you heard?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard anything about this story, or is this brand new to you as well? Or had you heard something about this?
I haven't delved into it much. I mean, I just basically heard, that it happened, and then, that everything you've talked about, I've heard. Aries and her have responded to it. I mean, there's just, it's just kind of one of those things. But I agree with you. Comedy, there's nothing funny about hurting children or children being sexual. There's nothing funny about that. So you've been crossed the line of comedy by even thinking of that.
So
you understand?
Yeah, I do. I feel that way.
So
Davis Denise is saying that there's more tapes out there. Has anybody else heard that? She's saying there's like 15 more tapes out there.
I kind of want to say I vaguely heard something like that. I just kind of, once there was a lawsuit, and then boom, now you have the reply from them, and then you have the backstory. Okay, this person sued them before. It's like, okay, they're gonna have to work it out. However, this is gonna be whatever, because they seem to have some type of evidence, but this person is a habitual litigant. Is what it is. As far as I'm concerned. But yeah, like I said, I had no interest in watching that, none of that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that Aries Spears is wrong about Lizzo.
What did he say about Lizzo, y'all? Catch me up.
It's her part. Listen, man. It's basically her public displays that are the problem. Her public behavior.
Her outfits.
That's the problem.
Her outfits.
Her music's great. If you're, it ain't for me. But if you're, of that generation, you probably love her music. But it's like you ain't got to be literally ass out at a nationally televised basketball game.
Okay, so he's talking about Lizzo's attire. He's talking about her coming out in certain dresses or like leotards or little shit she wearing out here, right? Is that what we talking about? That's what he's talking about? Does he have that same energy?
Yes, twerking and it's kind of like the twerking down at the restaurant in what was that, down in Dallas? The unnecessary twerking, that gratuitous twerking. Calm your ass down, lady. You're 30-something years old.
Yeah, but Beyonce come out and do the same shit.
She don't be twerking and just randomly start twerking.
Okay.
Just to do it, and besides, now Beyonce's a mother and she's a totally different lady. And kind of was trending toward that before she married the guy. So I think that's a false equivalent there.
Well, no.
And,
I would say I agree to a certain extent. It's been a while since I've seen Beyonce doing the things that you're describing that Lizzo do. It's been a while, but I do remember, Beyonce doing that shit. But I'm looking at the majority of female artists that come out today, Fame, and they all do the same shit Lizzo do, if not worse. And I'm talking about Megan Thee Stallion and all of them. They all, I think you have to be discovered in a strip club these days, from Cardi B to all of them. They all do the same shit. Cardi B, somebody mama too. And she do the same shit.
But those other girls are relatively healthy looking.
Yeah, I see. That's where I draw.
That's what I'm saying. When Aries Spears said that she looked like the bowel movement emoji, you laugh because it's funny, because it's true. This is a funny bit.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Let me just say this about Aries Spears, bro. Man, fuck him. Let me tell you why. Because he ain't the most built, chiseled ass motherfucker out here on the vine himself.
But does that make you right? No.
Because let me just say this to you, bro. And we as men should know this. What I like in a woman might look a certain way, but what you like in a woman might look a certain way. And there's some men that prefer Lizzo type women than Beyonce type women or whatever. And if Lizzo is doing something that men who prefer her style and the way she look, she's playing to an audience and a crowd as well. And if she getting people that love her and like her, play on then, player. But you can't.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Quick question. I've heard conversation about Rick Ross being a big, fat, out of shape, whatever. I've heard people say it out of their own mouths. I've heard celebrities say it years ago. How were they not wrong for acknowledging that Rick Ross was a big, fat, out of shape somebody that needed to keep his shirt on, but it's wrong for somebody to say Lizzo is a big, fat something that need to keep her clothes on? Now, I'm not saying either is good to, body shame somebody, but if it's okay to body shame a dude for being big and fat and needing to keep his clothes on, why is it not okay to body shame a woman for being big and fat and need to keep her clothes on? If you can't say it about Lizzo, you can't say it about Rick Ross. But if you can say it about Rick Ross, you should be able to say it about Lizzo.
I couldn't agree more, Emmanuel. Same thing with nobody who's big in Hollywood, all the people who were big immediately lost weight. Some type of weight. Monique, even said the entertainer on some level. Bruce.
Yeah, but
you want to go to white people, that lady who had that show with her fat cop husband, Mike and Michelle, or whatever it was called.
Mike and Molly.
I forget that lady's name, but yeah, what's her name? Lizzo was out here flaunting an unhealthy lifestyle, being obese like that. Just because you can twerk while you play the flute, that takes talent, but it's still unhealthy.
Hold up. What is, okay, when you say that, Fame, I hear where you're coming from, but I don't know if I agree. Because she's a big woman means that she shouldn't be out here doing what thinner women are doing, and she's promoting obesity by doing the same thing that the smaller women are doing. That promoting obesity is living a lifestyle. If she's on here eating unhealthy, promoting unhealthy foods and things of that nature, smoking cigarettes, just doing things that obese people can do to make themselves more obese, that's promoting obesity. But doing what other women do on stage, and just because you bigger than them other women, that's not promoting obesity. She's doing the same promotion of what any other woman is doing that's in that same lane of music. If they can do twerking and all that old shit, it's no different between Cardi B going on stage twerking and Lizzo twerking. Neither one of them are doing what I prefer. I'm going to be honest with you. But just because Lizzo is big don't mean she don't have the right to do what Cardi B is doing. That's how I take that.
Well, she always defends herself by saying, y'all are attacking me because I'm a heavy-set black woman. And like I said, her doing that, always trying to use that as a cop, that leaves it open, fair game to use on her. She's if you do any type of work, if you just take sodas and everything out of except the water out of your diet, you'll lose weight instantly. She's still big as fuck as the first time we saw her. So she's being unhealthy. It's clear. She needs to promote, if she wants to promote positivity to our young girls and promote something positive. Being big like that, that's not positive.
Right. Okay.
At all.
Well,
I don't know about
I'll be honest with you, and I'll end. This will be my last comment on this. But like, I don't think that Lizzo promotes anything other than what she might have to defend herself and talk about her weight, because some people might be shaming her and saying certain things. You can't wear that. You shouldn't wear that. And blah blah blah. She don't look all that great to me. I don't prefer that either. But I will stand my ground and stand on my circle and defend what she wants to do. She's not hurting anybody doing the same thing that Cardi B is doing. She's not hurting anybody by doing that. Cardi B go out there and twerk. She's somebody mama. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If you really want to get technical with it, Lizzo is more of an artist than any of them people. So she should have a right to be able to promote whatever she's doing in her artistry. Just like those girls who don't write their own stuff, don't play none of their own instruments, don't produce any of their own music. She has every right to go in there and market herself.
Missy Elliott 2.0. Missy Elliott for 30 years and hit her lifestyle. This big motherfucker had her lifestyle. All right? That's all I got. I do got to finally get to the store. But hey, y'all be well. And it's been a pleasure.
All right, Fame. Have a great day, bro. I don't know, E. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with us looking at Lizzo as like she's worse than what the other girls are doing because she's a bigger woman. That makes no sense to me.
And again, my only issue, I agree with you. But my only issue, like I said, it's all right to call Rick Ross, or at least I guess he done lost some weight. But it was all right to call him fat and shame him and talk about his titties and him taking off his shirt when all the other fit male rappers did it, but people tried to shame Rick Ross, and there was no big movement like, oh no, leave Rick Ross alone, your body shaming him. There was no movement for that. It was cool because he a dude. So it's cool to body shame a dude. Some skinny dude, it's cool to body. He need to put his shirt on. He ain't got no chest anyway. It's cool to body shame a dude all day. But you say something about a big woman. Oh no, that's sexist. Oh, you're body shaming. I wish people didn't do it to anyone. But I'm not gonna bash Aries Spears for doing what millions of men and women did to Rick Ross. Keep your shirt on. Nobody won't see your titties. I'm not going to. Like I said, if it's cool to do it to men, it's cool to do it to women. If it's wrong to do it to women, it's wrong to do it to men. But I don't hear all this pushback when people body shame men. So either take a stand, body shaming is wrong, or it's all right.
Let's be honest here. Name me another person other than Rick Ross as a male artist that's been shamed in the last 5 years of their body.
Well, I don't know a lot of these artists out here.
That's because
I don't know a whole lot of these artists.
That's because it's very, 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 very small percentage of anyone in the male species that's been, I would say, T.I.
Oh, that's so not true. That is not true.
What I'm saying to you is you very seldom hear in public or you hear bashing of men and their bodies.
That's not true. You hear it all the time. You just don't pay much attention to it because it just go past. Because, men like, but fucking, I'm fat. I don't care. You say what you want to say. I'm fat. I'm going to take off my shirt. You ain't bothering me.
It's okay for a man to be fat. OTB Boxing brought a good one up. DJ Khaled. But DJ Khaled just started getting out. He's on a yacht with no shirt on and he can't even see his knees. Let's say that. He can't see he can't see below.
And how long? Hold on, but just like what you just said, how long has that been a joke? Oh, he can't see his. How long has that been a thing out there where people talk about fat men and they can't see their privates? But nobody really go. Oh no, you can't say that. Oh, you gonna hurt his feelings and oh, you negative, you anti-male. People don't do that. I
think women. The fellas gonna be against me on this, man. But this go back to my point where a big woman can't do what a little woman can do on stage. She'll be shamed for that. But it goes back to the fact that women are under more scrutiny of looking a certain way than men are. That's pretty.
I don't agree with that. I think men are under.
I think men, like you just said, men don't give a fuck. I think no, we're not under that same pressure. How many people go out there and do what Khaled and Rick Ross do? Take their shit. How many women just go out there and do what Lizzo do?
But wouldn't that be not like, it's not my fault? I'm fat, okay? And people don't have a problem. I'm fat. And people don't have a problem telling me I'm fat. And guess what? I'm not going to go climb in no shell and die because people said I'm fat. People said I'm fat. I'm fat. But let somebody say something to some woman. Oh, you fat. See, why are you picking on her? It's not my fault that I just say, so, and she go crawl in a corner and cry. That's not my fault. It is wrong. If all I'm saying, if it is wrong to body shame women, it's wrong to body shame men. And if you are against body shaming, then you should be against body shaming on all men, women, the whole nine. But what I find is that a lot of people are not against body shaming. They're against body shaming women. Okay. But it's okay to body shame men.
Okay, I'll give you that. Let me just ask you this. What was the last female comic, or maybe even a male comic, that went so hard on Rick Ross taking his shirt off during concerts and juggling and doing what he do? What was the last, comic that stood up and gave it some national attention and it like caught fire? Like, I just don't think guys give a fuck.
It's not going to catch, but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
No,
it's
I know
not
what you're
going
saying.
To catch fire.
What I'm saying to you is guys don't give a fuck no way. That's why he get up there and say, I'm the biggest boss. He won a game where he cool with all of that big shit. He cool with being the big guy with the pinky ring and sitting up there looking like Jabba the fucking Hutt.
So then Lizzo need to be cool. Then Lizzo need to be cool with being a fat chick. Just be cool with it. What I'm saying
is everybody look at her like she can't be out there like the other artists that's doing what she doing. And they judging her and say she can't do what she doing only because she's big. Not for any other reason.
They judging everybody getting judged. Why we want to protect just certain people? Protect everybody.
Who we support?
Hold on, for real. Wyatt, you don't think some of that stuff, what do they say? It's a defense mechanism. I'm fat and people keep calling me fat, so I'm going to just get fatter and roll with it. But it still hurt them when people call them. You don't think that having people tell you look horrible, you don't think that affect them in any way?
I'm going to give you the two that the people just brought to the table. You really think DJ Khaled and you really think Rick Ross give a fuck who think they fat?
Yes.
No, they don't.
And like Jerica just brought up, he really ain't cool with it. That's why he went and lost all that weight.
No, he lost all that weight because his fat ass passed out on that private jet and then damn near died. Smoking weed and drinking bottles and eating hot wings. He explained it. The reason why I got to lose weight is because my doctor told me I had limited life left. That's why he said. He didn't lose weight. He didn't lose weight because he was concerned about what people were saying about him.
Of course he was concerned.
Nah.
Well, you're right. Men don't have feelings. I'm sorry. I forgot.
There you go with that little. There you go. There you go. I didn't say he didn't have feelings.
So
I'm not saying that men don't have feelings. I'm saying
you can acknowledge that men have feelings. If you can acknowledge that men have feelings. Let me just
ask you this. When you see a man and a woman, a husband and a wife most of the time out at dinner,
all right,
generally speaking, not in all cases, but in most, you always see the man. Most of the time, the man is just letting life take its course, and he's just going to do whatever he do. He ain't going to the gym no more. I'm getting to that point, bro. And I don't give a fuck if somebody be like, damn, why you didn't pick up about 10, 15? I don't give a fuck at this point in my life. Just like you said, you fat. You said that shit kind of confident. Like, you don't care. Like,
I'm saying it as a matter of fact. I'm fat. Why would I be mad at somebody for acknowledging what's true? That's like you say, man, you 5'5". How dare you call me 5'5"? How tall are you? Well, I'm 5'5". Why would I be mad about that?
I'm just saying
acknowledging the truth.
Big dudes don't care. Like, they don't care who call them fat. Fat is kind of in for dudes.
Yes, they care. Big dudes, you got a whole lot of big dudes out there who commit suicide because they are.
Oh, shit. More women or more men that commit suicide because of the shaming of bodies?
You ain't never watched, like, them shows about people being fat. Like even when the
1,000
Biggest
pounds,
Loser, even
600.
when the Biggest Loser was a thing, those men were seriously contemplating suicide because people made them feel horrible
Then they
about
suck.
being
That ain't got shit to
obese.
do with that. This is some different shit we talking about. The
No,
people
it's
that be on them
not.
shows are conditioned to be on them shows, man. Them soft motherfuckers. Most in today's
Oh my,
society,
oh
most
my God.
dudes that are heavy and fat don't have no problem with being that way, bro.
That's not
Because
true.
because men have been conditioned to think that it's okay. It's okay
No,
to get bigger.
no, men have been conditioned that if you complain about
It's
somebody
more
calling you fat,
women.
that make you weak.
Women have a problem with gaining weight and getting out of shape and showing wrinkles and shit. I'm not
Um,
saying that we don't have a problem. It ain't our number one problem in life, bro. We let nature take its course. We will eat a little more. We'll do a little more. We get bigger a little bit more. And men okay with it. I mean, I ain't saying that we just ignore the fact that we getting big, but we ain't letting society tell us that we ain't shit because we didn't gain some pounds. You
of
tell a
course,
woman,
that,
wait,
bro,
you
that
tell a
happens
woman
all
that
the
she
time.
didn't gain weight.
If you are a rail thin dude or a big fat dude, you got probably some self-esteem issues, and if you go get some counseling, then you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't know that bothered me. That was why I do this, and I didn't know that was why I do that. It bothers men, and I think what you're saying is a little dangerous. I don't think you're saying it
What?
meaning to be dangerous. Yeah,
What?
I think it's a little dangerous
Let me
because
take it.
I think what you promoting is that it's okay to make men feel bad about their physical appearance because we can take it.
I'm about to tell you the realest shit I've ever seen on The King and I. I've ever said on The King and I right here. It's 350-pound ass men out here that be capping on big women. They fat and nasty and all that old shit, and they be blasting on women. They
And
be
it's fat
fat out of
women that
shape
do the same
themselves.
thing to
Just like,
men.
just like Aries Spears,
Oh,
fat, nasty looking ass, gonna sit back and say something about Lizzo. That's what I'm talking about. It be out of shape men talking about other people. Like,
and
how
out of
fucking
shape
dare you, yo?
women talk about out of shape men too.
I don't know. I ain't saying they don't. I'm just saying it ain't that. Let me
Oh,
take a call, man. I'm getting out of here, bro. I'm getting out of here, bro. I'm losing my mind. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt and King and E-Man and all of us. What's good? What you got?
Man, salute y'all. This OTB.
What's
And
up, Fort?
man, what's up, big bro, man?
Chilling, man. What's happening? I've been reading your comments. You put some good people up there. You think Khaled give a fuck about him being fat?
Hey, he had to if he lost the weight. Otherwise, you would embrace where you at. Now, you're right. You understand? Women have have a lot to do with this because they have openly embraced bigger men within within the new generation. But it wasn't always like that. And we got to get out this masculinity trend where it's not okay for men to have self-esteem issues, or where we act like men don't have self-esteem issues, but we watch men run to the gym every day and get their body how they want. You understand? We watch men, we empower the men who put that type of effort into their body, just as we empower the women who do so. But we need to also empower the ones who are okay with it. And I don't know if this is the way that we empower the little girls that's gonna grow up big in today's generation.
Okay.
Because the internet don't have no filters. And as much as we saying it's okay to do this, let our kid go to school like that and see what type of comments end up on that picture.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. So now let me ask you: you think that Khaled and DJ and Rick Ross are content with being big guys? And or do you
No, I don't. I don't. I don't,
think,
bro.
you don't
I
think
don't
they,
feel like that because they both openly lost weight. That's like us saying that Monique, who profited off of making jokes about little girls, who profited off of empowering big girls to be big girls, and then she run and lose all that weight.
Well, you
hold on, caller.
With how you were before.
But you do know, y'all do know. I'm not saying that big people are the healthiest, but if you get to a point where a doctor tells you you might be successful at the box office, you might be successful at selling records, you might be successful at selling out stage or selling out concerts, but you're not successful in your health, in your body. And that pushes that individual to lose weight. You know, Rick Ross fell out and had a seizure and damn near died. And the doctor said, if you don't lose weight, you're not going to make it. You're not going to be here with us. You don't think that had more to do with him losing weight versus him living
not
the way
when
he
you
was
open
living?
100,000 wing stops wide.
Huh?
Not when you open 100,000 wing stops.
I mean, I'm saying, what does that have to do with
you
it?
open 100,000 wing stops? It don't tell me that you care about the weight of others. It don't tell me that you care about your weight. Yes, you made a life and death situation. That was a life and death decision.
Right.
Now, under those circumstances,
So what I'm saying, Court, is this though. What did it take for Rick Ross to actually lose weight? Was it the criticism of his weight, or was it a doctor saying, bro, you're not going to be here much longer with us if you don't lose 75 to 100 pounds, you're not going to be here. You're not going to be the big boss. You're not going to be able to make sellout concerts and sell records. You're not even going to be here. Don't you think that motivated him to lose weight more so than people saying he jumping on stage with titties?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. That's
so
accurate.
What I'm saying is he don't have the same motivation as a
what the message that the Lizzo chick is sending to the youth is what I'm focused on, because that message is a message that's not going to lead their doctor to talk to these little girls. That's not going to lead their doctors to talk about these little girls. So they have to have the confidence while we instilling that you can do whatever little girls do. You can put on whatever everybody else put on. Make sure that we build in the confidence in these individuals to be able to deal with the criticism.
That is what Lizzo is doing. But that is what Lizzo is trying to do. She's trying to say, look, little girl, you can be big. She's not promoting eating and unhealthiness.
Well, then you wouldn't respond to an Aries Spears. You wouldn't respond.
Well, you got to understand, Aries Spears is not you and I. Aries Spears is not you and I, though. I could say this on Wyatt Live or on The King and I, and she may not give a fuck. But when you have a national audience and millions of people listening and paying attention to you, he's not just speaking for himself. He is considered to be speaking for a demographic of people in America. So of course a star is going to reply back, because she has to defend the little girls or whoever else she's trying to enforce.
She's defending the little girls now?
No, what Lizzo's audience, wait a minute. Lizzo's audience is a group of women, teenagers, and little girls. They all listen to her music. And if she's trying to enforce that you can be all you can be no matter how big you are, that's who she's defending. So when you say something about Lizzo, you are talking about anybody that works
Lizzo.
with her.
No, Lizzo is defending Lizzo, and like the caller said,
well, when you personally attack her, but he
men
didn't
have
say,
feelings too, and men ain't running around here happy that people calling them big fat slobs with titties and stuff like that. Men, that don't make men feel good. Men just for whatever reason, society or whatever has programmed us to be all right with that. But
I'm cool. Yeah, I get what y'all saying. But let me just say this to you: if saying that shit about Rick Ross and DJ Khaled, if they had so much feeling about it, why they do it, bro? You don't have to be on stage half buck ass naked.
Saying about Lizzo.
Same with Lizzo.
If you feel that sympathetic about the criticism that you're gonna receive, then why do it?
She don't. What I'm saying to you is she's trying to pass self-confidence on to others that are big like her. Y'all don't get what I'm saying? That's what she's trying to do. And when somebody attack her, she has to defend her stance on, well, I'm a big woman and I'm confident. That's what she's standing on. Rick Ross, if he had feelings and cared as much as y'all niggas trying to say he do, why he go on stage with titties flapping all over the place? That's his choice to do that.
All right.
Wait a minute. Been about this check. How you gonna say I'm acting like it's easy to lose weight? This ain't got nothing to do with weight loss. This is about confidence and how people feel about themselves.
I just wanted to put some fire on the fuel. Y'all keep cooking, man.
Go ahead, Court. Love you, little bro.
All right. Hey, Wyatt.
I'll let you.
Wyatt, I got a caller over here.
Let's get it.
Caller, you're on the air. What's your name?
You keeping up with the time, E?
It is Tariq.
Tariq.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
I can't call it, man. Hey, listen, I'm tuned in. Hey, what's going on, Wyatt? And
what's happening with you, bro?
Man. All right. So look, we know there's double standards out there for men and women, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, so just because it's spoke about is shaming. That's the problem I think that we're having. Like now, Aries Spears, he did speak about it in a comedic way, and he was throwing shots. I mean, clearly that was the case. But when a woman criticizes a man for being broke, is not the same reaction. When men say something, because men are looked at for the assets, what they can provide. Women are looked at in a general sense for their appearance. So I don't see the big deal of calling out one or the other, right? When if that's what you're looking for, or if that's what you're trying to attract, and that is not attracted to you, like most of society would say that Lizzo is overweight, correct?
Correct.
That's what they would say.
Okay, that's what they'll say. And then a broke man over 30 is looked down upon because he need to have his shit together, correct?
Sure.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, I don't mean to disvalue your
Man,
point.
why? See, that's the thing right there. We got a quick answer for one, and then you don't know. You know damn well a man over 30 years old, right, 35, supposed to have his shit together, going into his 40s, and living on his mama's couch. That's a bad thing. We had all these songs, no scrubs, riding the passenger seat of your boy car. But now, if it's called out on the appearance of a woman because she's trying to make it normal, right? Normalize the whole thing. It's not healthy, and it's not attractive to majority of the population, even women. So I don't see the big deal.
All right. That's it.
Hey, that's what I got, bro.
I appreciate you, Tariq. Thanks for calling.
Hey, yep.
All right, that's Tariq. Look, again, my whole thing is simple. If body shaming is wrong, it's wrong on both sides. And I don't know how you can argue with that. And I don't know that it hurts women to be body shamed more than it hurts men.
Of course,
Women may show it more. Women may show it more, and men internalize it. So men, I don't care. So somebody keeps saying Biggie like being fat. When Biggie said heartthrob never black and ugly as ever, what, he was proud to be black and ugly? No, that was his defense mechanism. Like, people have been calling me black. People have been calling me ugly. People have been calling me black. Well, I'll just embrace it because I can't run from it. And he took it and embraced it because wasn't nothing he could do about what people's perception of him. But you think when somebody said you ugly, he was like, yeah, I feel good about that. No. But you take that and you use it, but it still hurt. Men hurt too.
I'm not saying that when men don't get hurt. That sounds ridiculous. I mean, I have feelings as a man. A lot of men have feelings. But what I'm telling you is, I mean, I can use an example. When you and your wife are going out, when me and my wife are going out, who always takes the longest to get ready? Men just don't have the same feelings when it comes down to looking and going out in front of everybody and presenting themselves to the world. We just don't have that same care that women do. Women have a more self-consciousness about themselves than men do. You don't think so, E?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm looking at the comments. Brenda, you are definitely severely misquoting Biggie. He didn't say coochie down to the socks.
That would be Gucci, maybe, but she said Coochie down to the socks.
Yeah, not coochie. Yeah. That would be bad.
I mean, I could see if she made a mistake and said Gucci.
That's right.
She said,
oh boy. Well, all right. And somebody said, I say I love being fat every day. You've never heard me say I love being fat. Again, a fact is a fact. I'm fat. I'm not going to, go crawl in a corner and die because I'm fat. Well, maybe
but if you say that to a woman, man, if you say that to a woman, she just might go do that.
But that ain't my fault.
You're missing the whole point of who's more sensitive to body shaming.
It's not that I'm not sensitive to it. It's not that it don't feel good even when I say I am fat. Like, that's why I got all this gym equipment right here to become unfat. but I'm just not gonna, die because somebody said it when it's true.
Yeah, it's just that I just don't understand how we could look at Lizzo one way and Cardi B a way or Megan Thee Stallion. I just don't agree that you should tell Lizzo she can't do that, but it's okay for Cardi B to do it. And it's only because of the audience. It's only because of her body. I don't
Listen,
think that's right because keep in mind, bro, there's some men out here that only like big women. There's some men out here that only like skinny women. There's men that
mhm.
like light skin and only dark skinned women. There's, you know what I'm saying? So it's not fair. It's like this. It's like entertainment is a great thing. Entertainment allows you to have a choice. If you don't agree with what Lizzo is doing, don't support her.
No,
Don't
no,
watch
hold
her
on.
when she comes on.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is Lizzo fat?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
are you wrong, evil, or mean for saying that?
Will Lizzo describe herself? I'll answer your question. Okay, let me answer your question first because I hate answering a question with a question. Am I mean, nasty, and showing malice towards her for saying she's fat? No, because it's a reality, right?
Yes.
It's a reality that she's fat. But does Lizzo pretend not to be fat? And she's trying to convince us that she's something that she's not. And we're just not falling for it. And we're
N-
joking on her and making fun of her. Is that what it is? Or
Not
do you have an
not to my
Aries
knowledge.
Spears that's making fun of somebody that has some confidence? And he's making her confidence. He's shaming her so bad that he's trying to take her confidence away from what she does and how she
Just
feels about
like,
herself.
when you talk about these fat men and people are trying to shame them to take away their confidence, and they just mad because the men don't show that you taking away their confidence, but it still hurt them. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I don't.
As a fat man, if somebody say I'm fat, that don't feel good, even though I acknowledge it's true.
Well,
It
let
still
me
don't
just say this
feel
to you,
good.
bro. There's a difference from being a fat man and a guy who used to be skinny who's getting fat. There's a little bit different. I think Khaled and Ross been big boys since the day they was born. They have engaged the fact of who they are. But when
That
you are,
probably, and
it's
that
just like
probably
a
is
woman.
why it hurt even more.
No, it's just like a woman. It's like a woman who used to be the high school queen or whatever, prom queen or whatever. As they get older, some of them, and not all, I can't speak for all. This might sound ridiculous to some women, but I just feel that women tend to sometimes get a little insecure about their looks the older they become. That's why Dr. Miami and some of these people are staying in business because look at what women are doing to their bodies and trying to enhance things to stay looking a certain way. They're not okay with them being who they are. Who is the Dr. Miami for men? Who's the
Here's,
Dr. Miami for men?
look,
Are
look.
men out here getting ass and pecs put in their chest? Who's doing
Yes.
it?
Yes,
Okay,
they are.
okay,
Yes,
maybe
they
they
are.
are. But
Men are
okay,
out here. Look, men are out here getting gastric bypasses and all of that kind of stuff, going to the gym, almost killing themselves to lose weight, just like everybody else.
yeah,
Men
I'm
are
not
going
saying
under
that
the
men are.
knife. Men are getting muscle implants. They got muscle implants for men. You know why they got it? Because there's a demand for it, and men get it.
Yeah, okay.
They
Well,
just don't tell you about it.
men get wigs too. They get toupees and wigs too. But I
That's
can
right.
guarantee you there's more money in the women game of wigs than there are in the men game. And it's the same thing in in the gyms. There's probably enrollment of more women in these what LA fitnesses than there are men. And my point is, I'm not taking away anything from what you're saying. Men have feelings. Some men are more sensitive than others. But I think we have put women in a situation where, I mean, you know, part of bullying and a lot of those women. I know bullying is a hot button for you. Um, Women get bullied because of their looks more so than men do.
That's not true.
All right, that's just my opinion.
All
That's
right.
my opinion. Most women have more things that they just deal with things. They have more self-conscious reasons on this earth than men do.
Here's what I
And
think I
that's
might
why
agree
it
with you.
takes them so long to get ready for every damn thing. And a man is ready to go to the movie theater with his wife. They ready to go right now. Okay,
It,
let me brush my hair and brush my teeth, baby, and I'm gonna slide these shorts and a t-shirt on. We can go. Women ain't rolling out the house like that.
Wyatt, it might seem like men just brush that stuff off easy, and men don't care about being talked about and bullied because of their physical appearance. It might seem that way because they don't want to seem soft. Because if you call a man fat and he shows that that hurts him, he's considered soft. No man wants to be considered soft. So he ain't gonna show that it hurt him. He ain't gonna let it be seen. But it don't mean that inside he ain't feeling the same thing that that woman is feeling.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
just okay for her to, to cry. It's okay for her to say, that hurt my feelings. But let you call a man fat and he like, that hurt my feelings. You're
I
gonna
don't
be
know
like,
about this
that
one.
bitch.
I don't know
You know what
about
I'm
this.
saying? He can't react the same way
I
because
just
of
think guys
society.
don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, bro. I see
That,
it all day.
of
Listen,
course, that's what he gonna say. I
nah,
don't
I
give
ain't
a
saying
fuck.
they say that. I ain't saying they say that. You can just tell by action. Yeah, the gym is full of both men and women, bro,
You
based
can't
on your
tell.
logic. Okay. But I'm just telling you. I see guys walking around here, and here go the other thing. Here go the other thing. And here's how I know. Because back in the day, you had to be all this one kind of thing. You, as a man, you had to be all this and all that. Look at today. Let's just take a survey of all. If you got a single man out here, trying to find a woman, a fat ass man got a better chance at finding a woman than a fat ass woman finding a man.
Well, that's not fair. Here's why
That
that's
is
not fair.
fair. That
Here's why
is
that's
fair.
no.
Because,
Here's why it's not
go
fair.
ahead, tell me why it ain't fair.
A man, period, got a better chance of finding a woman than a woman got of finding a man. The numbers just bear that out.
Well,
So
I'm not
yeah,
talking
it
about.
bears it out. A skinny
We're not getting
woman,
technical with the 7-to-1 ratio type shit. That ain't where we going with it.
but
I'm
that
talking.
all matters.
Well, it
That
might
all
matter to a
matters.
certain extent, but what I'm telling you is, I'm talking about when it comes down to preference of who is what. A woman is more likely to date a fat man versus a man dating a fat woman. That's just
Let me
if
tell
you
you,
go out looking for something. You ain't.
this is the only reason why I can't say that that's true is because I know a few larger women, and they don't have no problem finding men. None. None of the fat women that I know, I guess I can't call them fat. None of the larger women that I know have any problem finding men.
And that's
None.
why Lizzo is okay with being who she is, because she plays to an audience of women that might be bigger, who feel confident in who they are because they have role models like a Lizzo, somebody that's big and can make them feel okay with who they are.
I'm all right
And
with
that
Lizzo
was
being
that was my
confident in who
that was
she. I
my
don't have a
whole
problem
argument.
with her confidence.
My whole argument was I was okay with Lizzo being who she is, but people want to act like Lizzo can't do what she do, but it's okay for a skinny woman to do what they do. And that was my whole beef with the whole conversation. And we went off on men's insecurities and shit like that. I'm sticking on my circle. I believe that Lizzo has every right to be a performer and do the same shit that any other artist on stage is doing. And you can't say that she looked like a pile of shit or an emoji and all that. For someone to attack her like that is dead ass wrong, bro. That might not be my cup of tea. But the same brothers that date the bigger women that you say the same brothers that ain't got no problem looking at is Lizzo on the stage, and they probably don't feel the way that
And again,
Aries feel.
the only thing that I slightly disagree with your position on is you saying, in essence, it's wrong of an Aries Spears to come out and say these negative things about Lizzo. All I'm saying is, if it's wrong for Aries Spears to say these negative things about Lizzo, it's wrong for all of the women who say the negative things about fat men too, fat male performers. Like
But
they
wait a
can't
minute,
come out on stage and take their shirts off.
show me one lady who's mainstream like Aries Spears is, who can have that kind of audience, who's paying attention to one individual, who can make a statement about Rick Ross. What lady comedian has stood up and said something about Rick Ross and put him on blast?
Many. I can't think of them because I don't remember things in that
But don't you
context.
think it's a
But
difference
there
from
have been.
somebody like me or you or just a
I'm
regular
not talking
woman
about
out
me
here
or
saying
you.
something?
I've seen stand-up comedians get on stage and do a number of minutes on fat men, on Rick Ross in particular. I don't listen to Rick Ross. I think I know one Rick Ross song. The only way I really know Rick Ross is a big fat somebody that used to do shows with his shirt off because I heard some famous person go in on him. That's the only way I know that.
Well, I still think
It
it's a
happens.
difference. I
It
think Aries
happens
Spears,
on both sides.
the bottom line is this. Aries Spears was dead wrong for saying something about what Lizzo looks like on stage, but he won't say something about Cardi B being on stage if she wore or acted the same way.
I don't
What I'm
disagree
saying
with
to you is just because Aries Spears don't prefer that type of woman, he shouldn't say something mainstream and out blatantly shame this woman and try to make a joke about her
I'm
because
not
she's
disagreeing
confident
with you,
in who
White.
she is. That's
Well,
where I'm at.
all right, good. I'm not disagreeing with you.
But see,
As a matter of fact, I agree with you. He probably shouldn't have did it. But at the
no,
same time, you can't find it in your heart to agree that these women shouldn't be saying negative things about fat men or skinny men,
I think
taking off their shirts on stage.
I think it's a mix. I think you'll probably find more men that'll say some shit like, "Look at dumbass Rick Ross up there with he got titties. He need a bra." You'll see men. I've seen a lot more men saying something about Rick Ross. Shit, I probably say something about it myself.
I've heard a many female comedian talk about Rick Ross taking off his shirt and having titties.
Needing a bra, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm sure I don't think that Rick Ross take that in like most people. And the reason why
that don't make
I'm not saying it make it right or wrong, but I'm saying that I don't think it affects Rick Ross like you say it does. Because if Rick Ross, if he had a problem, wait a minute, hold on.
He just hide it.
Wait a minute, bro. The way you hide it is to keep your fucking t-shirt on. If it
Well,
really
oh my
if it
goodness,
really
that's
mess,
not- oh
if
my
it
God.
really mess with him like you think it does, he can prevent them jokes.
Or because if he did that, people would be like, "Hey, Rick Ross, why you stop taking your shirt off?" And then that brother break down like, "Cause I heard people talking about me and my titties, and it hurt my feelings." And everybody would be like, "Rick Ross, soft as hell," and you know, come on, you.
I don't know,
bro. It's different.
I can't speak into a you know a hypothetical.
Or maybe this. You know how Rick Ross takes it and just shrug that shit off? Maybe Lizzo need to start doing that. Just taking and shrugging shit off.
Maybe she has gotten to the point where she feels like she's defending more than Lizzo. Maybe if you somebody that's trying to convince people to be okay who you are, and then a group of people come around and try, and you got an audience that's agreeing with, okay, I'm gonna be who I am, and then you have somebody attack that village of who they are, but they attack the leader being Lizzo, she could possibly be speaking for everybody that she's encouraging. That's the way I look at it.
She could, or she could brush that shit off.
For everybody that she's encouraging, that's why she snapped back at him.
Or maybe and this is just a suggestion, maybe she could start doing like the men do and just embrace that shit and brush that shit off. And then maybe that will be the thing that those girls see.
Done that, bro.
All right, then.
She's been doing that for years now. She's been
up there complaining about whatever Aries Spears had to say about her. It's just a part of life.
On the messenger, bro. She's been heard way more shit than what Aries Spears has said.
It's just a part of life, and she should just deal with it, just like everybody else.
I gotta say this. She's probably endured a whole lot more conversation than other than what Aries Spears has said. Okay, and she let the shit go. All right, she didn't say nothing about it. But then when you get somebody mainstream like an Aries Spears, she might snap back on that because he has more of a say. You know, he got more of an audience and people that, you know, he trying to clown, he capping on her. So she might snap back at somebody that got a little bit more to say or have a larger audience.
Look, and again, I agree with you. I guess the only thing that I don't understand is why you can't see it. Like your glasses is clean and you can see crystal clear the position from Lizzo's standpoint. And I agree with you. Like, I really do. I agree with you. But then when you turn and look at it from a fat man standpoint, them glasses become cloudy as hell. You can't see. In your mind, I think you so conditioned by society. Probably. In your mind, you can't see where that could hurt a dude's feelings and he could just cover it up by embracing it. Like, What? No, he don't care. No, yes, he still cares. He still
Yeah.
cares. He just
I
brushed
go,
that because he not allowed to be vulnerable in our society as a man. He is not allowed to be vulnerable. And that's why part of the reason why all these men out here killing each other, because they not allowed to be in touch with their real feelings. All they allowed to be in touch with is aggressive behavior and hypersexual behavior. But if he got real feelings, no, just shove that down, punch somebody. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, that hurt my feelings. Well, push that down, go have sex with somebody. Oh,
yeah,
I'm so bothered. Well,
that's
push
the
that down,
whole.
push that
It's
down.
it's, it's
He's not
really
allowed to be
it,
vulnerable.
it's really the opposite of what you're talking about right now, bro. The
Oh
reason
my
why
goodness.
these guys out here shooting each other and doing the shit that you're talking about is because they too much in their feelings. That's what it is. It's not because they can't be who they want to be.
They
It's
are too
because
much in their feelings,
they
but the only way that they're allowed to express those feelings is either through some violence or sexualized behavior. That's yes, they are too in their feelings, and they not allowed to show it unless I'm being violent or unless I'm being sexual. That's how I'm allowed to, as a black man in this society, show my
oh,
feelings. I
so
definitely
that's how
think
black men. That's what you just described is a very, 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 very small percentage of black men, and you just labeled the whole black man. So black men do what
you're
you just
right. No, no,
described.
no. Hold on. I agree with you.
You
It's
sound
not
crazy,
all black men.
motherfucker,
There,
saying that
there
shit
is
like
there
that.
is some.
Because us
It's
black
some.
men who don't act like
Yeah.
that are the majority of the black race. You just described
And though
a
I
certain percentage,
Wyatt, Wyatt,
but
I
you
just
just
agreed I was wrong. I'm not above agreeing that I'm wrong. I was wrong for generalizing like that. I was wrong. Emmanuel Livingston, the king of
no.
talk,
Some people
was
think you're on
wrong.
point. That's why I'm saying it like that because some people agree with you, and I'm
But,
telling you that the
but,
majority of black men on this earth don't act like that.
the-
Don't ain't in their
but,
feelings like that.
but those are the men that are allowed to be vulnerable. Those are the men that don't buy into that hyper masculinity thing. Those are the normal, I'm using the term normal black men. But there are a whole lot. It's a small percentage, but it's a lot of people who are locked into this hyper masculinity where I'm not allowed to have hurt feelings. And if I'm not allowed to have, I know I feel this stuff. I feel it, but I'm not allowed to feel it. Well, I gotta express it. I'm definitely not allowed to
And
cry.
how do
I'm
I
definitely
express
not
it?
allowed to say I'm hurt.
Wait a minute.
But the only way that I can
And tell
express it
me
is
again. Tell us again how we
be
express it when we can't express ourselves.
they're allowed to be violent, they're allowed to be sexual.
So
They're
you think
allowed to be
that's
violent and they're allowed to be sexual.
so you think that's our way of dealing with our problems as black men.
That's a lot of them, yes. The ones who buy into the idea that my feelings can't be hurt because I'm a man.
I mean, I can't look, I can't speak for anybody but myself. I can maybe speak for some of the people that I hang with or that I know. I bro, I'm a little offended at that, E. I'm as a black man, I'm
I hate
offended.
to hear that.
I'm
Look,
offended
look,
that you
look.
think that the way
Again,
that
you keep
black men
hold on, stop,
express
stop,
themselves.
stop saying black men because I admitted I was
I
wrong
do.
on that. I
But
said
but
some.
but I gave you a chance to make it right, and you continued on to that point because you
No,
said,
no,
"Yeah,
I said some. I still said some. I didn't say all. I said some. The ones who feel like they are not allowed to be hurt. The ones who feel like they're not allowed to express their feelings, those are the ones I'm talking about.
okay, that narrows it down to maybe who you know, okay, to me. But we were talking about people in general. And I'm saying that what you described initially was a small percentage of people,
I
not
agree with
enough to say black men.
you.
Okay, not see when you say black men, that's gonna give me the majority of whatever the conversation is. When you
Which is
classify it,
why, right, which is why I
so
clarified that I'm
white
not
men
talking
don't
about
fall in
all
that
black men.
category. So white men don't fall in the category of being able. They can't be
Well, of
um
course they are.
sensitive and all that shit.
Of
So
course they are.
but we have
But
our way of
but a
dealing
lot
with
of
it that's
times,
different.
hold on, but a lot of times we give more room for white men. Our society, we give a lot more room for white men to be more sensitive. Now, there is still those who are in that same boat. But again, because we were talking, or at least because I was talking and thinking about black men in this kind of subgenre, that's who I was talking about, was black men.
Okay.
But no, you can put white men in the same boat. You see some of this violence out here by these white men. Some of that is because they not allowed to express themselves. And that's the only way that we allow, some of us in society allows us as men, period, to express ourselves. And that's why we hear about, that weekend and that soft brother and that soft person and so on and so forth. Man, if I bust out crying, you know how many people, I'm like, for real. If I was like, Wyatt, I get called fat. And tears start streaming. And I don't want to be called fat. It hurt my feelings, man. And I go to the gym and I try to eat better. And I was just crying. You might not say it out loud. But I could almost guarantee you it would be people who would watch this and be like, this soft ass. When I'm just maybe expressing how I feel. But if I got on here and I was like, I'm fat, but I get plenty of pussy. Then they'd be like, oh, see, he don't even care. No, I can mask my hurt by having sex. That's cool, because that ain't soft.
All right. I mean, we all can feel the way we feel about these issues. My bad. I just feel like we do more to express ourselves than have sex and be violent. That's my take on it. And that's just my take on it. I'll leave it there.
All right.
Because I hear people saying, like, for instance, Ed, he said something like I was being petty. I wasn't being petty. And if this is a lesson for Ed, then you absorb it, Ed. And if that's your excuse for how you deal with shit, then I'll be petty. And if your way of dealing with shit is to have a bunch of sex with a bunch of different women and to, what was the other thing you said?
Be violent.
If that's the way that you need to be
Super
expressing
aggressive.
yourself.
Yeah.
Huh?
And yeah, aggressiveness is one of the ways that you can, I mean, even if you're not actually violent, but you can be aggressive. Like, E-man, you fat. Oh, I'm fat. What you gonna do with me? That's right, fat man. What you gonna do to fat man? Fat man will beat your ass. That's what fat man will do. That's okay. But you, E-man, you fat. Come on, man. That hurt my feelings, bro. You ain't got to call me fat. This soft punk bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can do other things.
Everybody don't deal with it that way. Everybody don't deal with it that way. And it's sorry, somebody just texted me something about it. But I just think that we all have our different ways of dealing with things, and it comes in different shapes and forms and fashion. I guess since I can't relate to that, so it's not up my well, bro. I'm not saying that some men don't do that. I think it struck a nerve, and I had to read a couple comments, maybe, and it ain't because of the comments. Trust me, I'm my own man. But maybe someone just described it and said, "Hey, Wyatt, don't take it personal. It ain't you," and that woke me up. See, what y'all don't understand, and I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm human. You're human. When people say things to me, I might take it wrong. And when I hear something that's wrong and not in my will, maybe I will shut down and get in a shell and be like, well, wait a minute. That ain't me. I don't understand it that way. And the majority of the people that I know in my life don't handle their problems like that. I could say that, somebody put on here and it was very nice. It was right on point to me. They said that, a lot of people turn to drugs, alcohol, and gambling as well. And not thinking of those things, I could see how when you're in a dark space in your mind, you can turn to those type of things. It never struck me that men do the things that you just said because they can't express themselves. That's just me. That's just me. Now, that could just be because it's not something that I've experienced. So like I said, I'm not saying that you're wrong. But I'm just saying that's not up my wheelhouse.
That
I
makes sense.
find other ways of expressing myself, and I would think that majority of men do.
But I was wrong for not qualifying because I hate when people do that. Black men this, and I'm like, hold on, there's so many of us out here. So I should have said some.
No, I think
I
see. I'm
appreciate
the
that
only one
correction.
that took it. I'm the only one that took it there because I was reading the comments. Trust me, I was reading the comments. I'd have hit the click button on this shit if I was in my feelings for real. But I'm
But
just
it would have been, I'm telling you, I would have said it if you would have said it. If you would have been the one that said black men do this, I'd have been like, bruh, that's a
yeah,
small
you
minority.
didn't done that
So,
to me before. So
yeah.
that being said, wait a minute, hold on. The only place that men can express themselves with no shame is church. I don't know about that. You
I
got to
love
get
that.
some friends. Let me tell you, there is nothing better than friends that are. This is why I don't use the word friends lightly. Because when you have not your boy, not your dude, your friend, when you have people around you that can relate to the things you're going through in life, then you have someone to express yourself with. We all need some. Women have that more than men do. And I will agree. Maybe men need more outlets. But as a man, you have to find someone that's conditioned like you that you can express yourself to and give you that out, that time to breathe, who understands your relationship problems, who understand the things you're going through, your financial situations or whatever. I just been fortunate enough to be able to find people in my life that can relate to some of the things I'm going through. It's like having a friend that has a business. Y'all can relate. You know, you have a business, they have a business, you go through some of the things together, you hear each other's frustrations. It's nothing better than to talk to somebody that knows exactly, they can finish your sentences. They know exactly what you're talking about. But to try to have that same conversation to somebody that don't understand how it is to run your business day to day, that can be not only a frustrating conversation to have, you're probably talking to somebody that just can't relate to what you're talking about. And that could be an issue. And I mean, maybe it does make you go out and gamble and do certain things. I mean, drink. But I would say this, and I'd say this on the record, and I may be wrong, but I think that more men do have other vices, especially brothers. I think we do things more outside of the two things that you mentioned more than that. I think we do the gambling and the drinking and things of that nature more so than we do violence and just having sex with random women. I can't get caught up in that one. That's the one that kind of went over me a little bit, and it kind of kept me in a space because that seems to be what people want us to believe that we are. And I think that kind of hit me a little bit harder because when you hear people that don't look like us, when they describing us, they think that's what we are as a whole, not a small percentage.
I can get with that. I can get with that.
That's why I was in that spot. So forgive me, audience. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me, E. I wasn't trying to like be somewhere that I just, I had these moments where I can get in my zone and I black out and I'm there and I'm like, God damn, this sound like, you know what I'm saying? And I can't.
No, that's valid.
I'm in a smoky room with all of that. So I just want to say to y'all, that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, E,
100%.
It's been real. It's that time, I think, bro. Ooh, bro, little baby at the bus stop. It's raining outside.
I'm not picking up little baby today. Today, her mama got her, so I don't know how to pick her up today.
She's gonna be at that bus stop with that little umbrella, little pink umbrella with the cows on it and shit. She's gonna be standing there like, Pawpaw. Is it grandpa now?
Grandfather.
Grandfather? Is it
grandfather?
Oh, they didn't win Sadiddy on us, y'all. Not granddaddy.
No.
Not Pawpaw. Grandfather?
Grandfather.
Drink her tea like a grandfather? I thought the show was till 4. Who said that? What time is it?
Yeah, no. Why had to be on at 5?
Shit. I got something to do. Oh man, I don't know if I got a 5 o'clock in me, man. I don't know. You know what? I think I do. I think I'm gonna go on at 5E because I got that story I want to talk about.
And we didn't get to touch on it.
We didn't get to it, so maybe I'll do the 5 o'clock. and then maybe you and I can touch on it. I don't know, bro. The way we pre-talk, we had this pre-conversation, and E totally don't agree with me.
That is not true.
Imagine that.
Oh.
Mike Epps' crazy ass.
Oh, I might call into your show, or maybe even video into your show,
Either
if you allow me
shit.
later on,
Either
if
way.
I'm not caught up doing something.
Hey man, whatever happened to your trees, bro?
I don't want to talk about that right now.
That shit's still sitting out there. Ain't
All I'm waiting on, it is still sitting out there.
I figured.
I had set up to rent the lift to get up and cut everything. But then I couldn't find my credit card. So I had to call the people like, I can't come and get the lift today, but I need to reserve it. And then every day since when I've had the time, because you wouldn't believe how packed my schedule is. But every day that I've had the time to go get the lift, it's been raining and thundering and lightning, and I'm not getting up on no 35-foot lift in the lightning. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Benjamin Franklin trying to discover electricity. So that's not going to happen.
Electricity will discover your ass. That's right.
So yeah, now I got everything. I'm ready to go. Got, chainsaw ready. Got everything. I just got to go get the lift on a day when there are no lightning bolts in the sky. And then it'll be taken care. I had to order. I had to cancel my credit card, and because I just can't find it, and order a new credit card so that I can go get it. Because they won't let me, just go in with a debit card or anything. It's got to be a credit card, and I don't use my credit card. Like I don't use it, so I couldn't find it, and so I had to order a new one. A new one has come in now, and I just got to wait for a good day to go get it and get it done. It's going to be a simple process now.
I had another question, but I'm going to fill in the blanks. I'm going to take the word tree out, and I'm going to put the word scooter in, and we're going to take that same 10-minute answer and just replace the tree with scooter, and say that when it was time for me to paint my scooter, I couldn't find my credit card, so I couldn't get my damn spray paint out.
I've replaced the gas tank, which that wasn't that difficult to do. And I'm about to I'm in the process of breaking down and cleaning the engine. Because again, it sat for 20-something years, and when I went to start it, it won't start. So I talked to some of my mechanic friends, and they said, just go ahead and pull it apart. Don't buy no new parts. Like, I got to buy some new seals and stuff, but don't buy no new parts. Just take it apart and clean it. They said, I guarantee you it's a lot of rust up in there, which is what's causing it to not start. So before you rebuild and go buy a new rebuild kit, just take it apart, clean the rust off of everything, put it back together. It should start right up. And then if it don't, then you might need to start figuring out what parts you need to replace.
Yeah, E, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Between the trees, the scooter, and a couple other things, you got more excuses than a motherfucker going to jail about getting shit done, bro. I mean, damn. Woo!
I get project after project after project, and the ones that I tell y'all about, the ones that I be the most excited about, them the ones I share with y'all. I be super excited.
So that means you got shit sitting all over the house.
No. Them the ones that I do get done, get moved out the way, because they're little things that take precedence over other things, except the trees. But they're like the moped. The moped ain't that big of a deal. But when this pipe down here busts, then that took precedence over the moped. So now I gotta go run PEX up because this is an old house, and I still got the galvanized steel pipes in some places.
I understand.
So yeah, I had to cut out the galvanized steel and put in PEX and all of that kind of stuff. That take precedence over the moped.
It does. It's just some of the stories I've heard.
My little things get taken care of and put the other things that I'm more excited about on the back burner. And I see somebody talking about me being that neighbor. Look, my neighbor, as a matter of fact, the neighbor, because it's his trees that fell into my yard. And his thing was like, man, I wouldn't even worry about cutting that stuff down till all of the leaves fall off. That's gonna give you all kind of problems. I help you cut it down. We'll get this thing done together. Blah blah blah.
You better take him up on that, E.
Well, if he want to help when I get this lit, but I'm not waiting till the leaves fall off. That would be another 2 months.
It would be easier though. E.
I'm not waiting another 2 months unless it's just
this long.
unless it's just thundering and lightning every weekend. I'm getting out there cutting it down.
Okay, we hear you. You've been cutting this down for about 3 months now.
He did. He came over and he was like, he said, "Is it bothering anything on your property?" And I was like, "No, it's fine, because I cut it back as far as I could and got rid of that stuff. So, I just got the kind of big parts laying there, and I'm like, it ain't hurt nothing, it ain't on nothing. I'm good, but I want to get it." He was like, "Why don't we just wait?" Because he was saying why don't we just wait till the leaves fall off and then we can get out there and cut it? And I'm like,
hey, E, I ain't gonna lie, man. I got one for you, bro. And I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong because I'm a motherfucker. But, bro, you know what you sound like? You sound like the brother that got about 3 or 4 motherfucking cars outside his house and transmissions and shit pulled out all over the place. You got a brake job over there in the corner. You got a transmission job over here. And you got some other shit going on with that that car right there. I'm probably wrong, but you sound like that.
Hold on. You're not wrong. You partly wrong. You partly wrong. I do have 3 cars in the backyard.
All ready to be repaired?
No. One of them is my daughter's car that don't run, and somebody's supposed to be coming and getting it. But they haven't come, and they'll come and get it. So I'm not worried about that one. One of them does need a transmission. And I'm gonna put a transmission in that. And then one of them, I really just need to go because before it went down, I had just put in a brand new a new stereo, deck with the GPS and all of that kind of stuff. It's got the nice beats in the back. The thing where you can do the phone and all of that kind of stuff. It's got all of that stuff in there. Well, my wife's car that we replaced that car with don't have any of that. So I'm just supposed to be pulling all of that stuff out and putting it in her car. And then that car is going away.
So when does that project start? Should your wife just go ahead and go buy another car, man? Because it don't sound like that.
She got another car.
I know, I'm saying, but get a car with that shit in it already.
No, I'm gonna
go ahead and get one with it in it already.
No, I'm gonna pull that stuff out. The only reason I didn't pull that out this summer, I'm not gonna lie about this one. I don't really mess with bees like that, man. Me and bees got beef. Bees? Like yes.
Bees?
Bees,
okay.
They don't like me.
No, it's the bees, y'all.
And I don't like them. And I feel like if I get up in that car, it's gonna be like a little bitty hidden bee's nest, and they gonna tag the shit.
You just feel that way. You don't know if there's one in there.
I don't know. I don't trust it.
Oh my God! Yes, you might as well. Miss Livingston, go get you a whip.
So when it get cool, then I'm gonna get out there, pull all that stuff off, because that ain't nothing. Pull all that stuff out, and then we gonna call and have them come and tow that car out of here. And somebody said the transmission was last year. Wrong. The transmission was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. But
damn, and it's still sitting there ready, huh? Ready.
A transmission is a big deal.
Yeah, E. I'll be damned. All right. Well, I thought you was that neighbor. I wasn't really trying to, paint the picture. I just think that you that neighbor that got transmissions and radiators and shit sitting out in the front yard. And
no, it's all in the backyard. You can't see my backyard unless you go to my backyard. So it's all in the backyard. Like even the neighbors, they can't see what's in my backyard, which is why one neighbor had to ask, is it, huh?
Can you hear that? Listen, can you hear that?
I don't hear anything. But that's why the one neighbor had to ask, are the trees bothering anything? And I'm like, no, they're not bothering anything. Because you
It
can't really
sounds like
see
you got some Sanford and
what's in my
Son shit
backyard.
going on in the backyard, bro. You
Hey,
have a refrigerator sitting back there that needs to be fixed.
I do not.
Okay.
I do have a boiler.
Oh shit.
But not, wait a minute. Hold on. The boiler ain't my fault. The boiler ain't my fault. I want to get rid of the boiler so bad, but
Man,
Mrs.
if you
Livingston,
don't stop.
Mrs. Livingston keeps saying, "No, we can take that to the scrap yard." And I'm like, "All right." I don't know if you ever moved a boiler.
No, I ain't never
Bruh.
touched the boiler. I
Bruh.
don't know the fucking boiler. What is a boiler? Heat boiler?
You know how?
Water heater boiler?
Yeah. Because again, this is an old house. I got radiators. We heat with radiators. So I had the old
Radiator?
boiler. Yeah. You
Okay.
don't know what a radiator is?
Yeah. I just have
Yeah.
a car radiator in my mind, but now, see, I remember burning myself in law homes off of radiators. But you
Yeah.
know, that was in the motherfucking 70s, right?
This is how many times I gotta tell you this is an old house. So
But
I
I
had
was
the old radiator taken out. And I was like, in my mind, just take that motherfucker with you. I don't need no old radiator here. But Mrs. Livingston was like, we can scrap that and make a little money. And all the metal in that, we can scrap that. I'm like, why don't we just have them take it? Like, no, we can scrap that. All right, we can scrap it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna, hey, she wanna scrap it. This
So
what she
it
wanna
sounds
do.
like she okay with the Sanford and Son. I mean, with the shit y'all got out there. She okay with it because she about getting us some money. No sense in throwing that away. We can make a few dollars off of that. I'm okay.
LaDonna, you are 100% right. A boiler is heavy as hell. Like
can
I
imagine.
had no idea. A radiator, them things don't look that heavy. Bruh, it took, I want to say it was what, 4 or 5 of us, grown men,
She said,
to get
my
that.
ex scrapped hers. It got $2.
To get that boiler out of where it was into the garage, it took 5 grown men.
Yeah, bro.
It's heavy.
So you trying to take it to the scrap spot so they can weigh it and then pay you on the weight.
I ain't never scrapped nothing. I ain't never scrapped nothing. I don't know nothing about scrapping no metal. For me, I'm like, look, I call the city. Let me put it out there on the curb.
Yeah.
They got a truck with an arm that'll come and pick it up, throw it away. It'll be gone. Let's do that. No, I want to scrap it. I want to scrap it. All right, let's scrap it. All right.
Yeah.
But that is her fault. The cars, you can blame on me.
Oh my God.
The cars you can blame on me.
My fault.
But that boiler is, I just want it gone.
Yeah. But all that other shit back there is good. It's in order.
It's just 3 cars, bro. It's just 3 cars.
In the front yard.
No, in the backyard, in parking spaces. What?
Huh?
What you say?
Who, me?
You what? Who you talking to? Wyatt?
Me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Then who are you talking to? What you talking about?
What you talking about? What I say? What did you
I don't
hear?
know. You just start saying, who, me? Who, me?
Yeah, because you was like, what you talking about? Who you talking to? And I didn't know you was talking to me when you said that because it didn't look like, I thought you were like listening to something.
No.
I didn't say anything. That's why it threw me off. Y'all know I be zoning, but I wasn't that far gone. I was looking at you. I was reading the comments and you was like, what you say? And I'm like, damn, I ain't say shit. So I know, are you talking to me? Are you talking to maybe Miss Livingston hear your ass lying on her, talking about she okay with that shit being sitting out there. And I thought you was talking to her.
Yeah, no, like, I said the 3 cars are all in parking spots in the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in parking spots in the back of the house, just waiting. So that ain't gonna be no biggie. When it comes time to get them towed out, boom, come and tow them. Give me my $50 or whatever they give you when you scrap a car or whatever. Give me my $50. Thank you. See you later.
Okay. Everybody's saying you're gonna get $2.82 for that radiator, bro.
I don't know nothing about scrapping no metal. I ain't never done it before. And so
I just know I used to see them dudes picking up cans and shit and picking up shit that would cut you. And they take it and they get little $13 and some shit. And they've been out there all day. I mean, I don't know how much you get for some heavy shit. I don't know.
I just want it gone. I just want it gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, E, man. What else we got, man? Anything else before we get out of here for the day, man?
No, none I can think of. I got to let you go get ready for your show.
Oh, Lord. What time is it, man? I don't know if I got it in me. What time is it? Almost 4 o'clock.
Oh, by the way, I've been enjoying your shorts, man.
My shorts.
Yeah.
I've
been enjoying them.
Video shorts. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
What did you think I was talking
about?
Oh
no, I got on shorts right now, bro. And I was looking at you like, what? You know, I know we've been talking about males expressing themselves and shit today, but I ain't there yet.
Now the video shorts that you've been doing.
I like them shorts, motherfucker. And I'm like,
I've been enjoying the video shorts that you've been doing.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. They on the web, they on my Facebook page and on the YouTube page. And I want to do more. And I think you and I should do some shorts together. Short takes is what I call them. So people over here who might just be clicking in. We do these short takes together, man. Maybe we started that at one point. But everybody was like, what time the show start? It only started for a minute. It only came on for a second. I'm like, don't y'all get it? It's like a 2 minutes short video. And they like, well, the show fell off my phone. I can't get it no more. Shit, they playing over there. And I'm like, it was a skit. It was not a skit, but it was a 2-minute clip. The fuck? Some people just don't get it, E. I get frustrated. But yeah, let's start doing some of them shorts, man, and get us, get some topics up, man. I've been trying to poll the audience and seeing what they really want to talk about. I think we should have went a little harder on Tiffany Haddish crazy ass.
Your girl.
That's really, huh?
I said your girl.
Oh, okay. It's my girl now. Yeah. Okay. Well, we spent a little time.
Let me ask you this question. And this ain't even about, her potentially molesting kids or nothing like that. But just in general, I've never thought Tiffany Haddish was funny. Be it the few stand-up pieces that I've seen her do, or the characters that she plays in the movies. I've never thought she was funny. Am I alone on that?
Nah, I don't think she's ever been known I mean, you know what? I don't think she could fill a Netflix, is it called? A Netflix special. I don't even think she's ready for that, bro. Quite frankly. Now, who am I to say that somebody that's making a few $1 million per film is not ready for a Netflix special? Well, I'm one to tell you that I don't think that she can do it. I mean, I've seen her flop a lot. Not a lot, but I've seen her flop really bad. And like I said in the comment before, man, I think Cat Williams was trying to tell us something that people wasn't really ready for. Yeah. And I think that she kind of hyper speeded through Hollywood. And I think in order to do that, you got to be part of some type of circle. And I think Cat Williams was just trying to tell us that. And I'm not a big fan on, she said something when that Will Smith and Chris Rock thing came out, man. And she put it out there like a trifling person would. I'm just being honest. She say some trifling shit sometime. And I know sisters can get tired of people like that. Because, some of us feel like when certain people that look like us say things that it paint a picture for all of us. And I get tired of that type of shit. And Tiffany Haddish is known for doing shit like that. And what I don't understand is she's typical to me. I'm going to say this. She's typical to me. She a sister that try to use that sisterhood bullshit on us, but then she go off and do white people type shit. Okay, that's just me. And I know I just offended some white people, but I'm just saying she do uncharacteristic shit that black people just don't do. And, it bothers me when I see that. And, I don't like when people try to use the culture to profit or to make their name off of, but then they don't live like the culture. They just do Tiffany Haddish didn't have white boyfriends and all this old shit. And then she gonna stand up and tell Will Smith and represent Will Smith as being some type of king because he did some foolishness. And in my eyes, Will Smith did some foolishness by putting his hands on Chris Rock, another brother, in front of everybody, and call that shit defending his woman at that type of time. During that time, it was foolishness. Everybody knew it was foolishness. And then she come back and try to make it sound like this motherfucker was being the king that he should be and expressing himself the right way. And isn't it kind of ironic that she used that term, expressing himself that way, when in fact, that's kind of like what you had said that we do when we can't express ourselves, we turn to violence. And I just don't agree with that. And when Tiffany Haddix co-signed that bullshit, man, she was already a little bit back on my book on how she do things, but that pushed her further back.
Yeah. I remember when Cat Williams was talking about her, and he asked one question. I won't say it was profound, but it made sense to me. He said, "What's your favorite Tiffany Haddix joke?" I was like, if you really think about it, I couldn't even tell you one. I couldn't even, tell you, like, she got the one joke when she was.
Give me a punchline. Give me a movie she was in and she had some type of punchline that you would remember her from. Not just a joke, which that's where she come from, is the comedy world. But give me a punchline. What movie has she been in where she ain't been acting some old kind of, some old kind of trifling ass way, and you pulled something back from that character? Yeah. She's not that. And Cat Williams, he said it. He did.
And when I see, and she be in a lot of projects. Like she work. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate on her like she lazy and she don't work. She be out there working. But when I see there's something coming out soon that I was watching, I can't remember what it was, but I was watching the previews and I was like, this seems like maybe an interesting movie. And then her face popped up and I was like, yeah, I sure ain't watching that. That's why I can't even remember what the name of it was, but it's a movie that's coming up and it's not a comedy.
Yeah, I've seen her in it. I can't even think. See, I'm that much of not a fan. Okay, I'm not a fan at all. Generally, what you're saying is how I feel, and that is when I see her playing in something, it's probably a turnoff for me to even watch that movie. Because if you think she's an attraction for me to view that movie, you put the wrong one in the clip. You put the wrong woman in the trailer. That ain't. You don't need to put her in there. She should be a special guest that you don't even mention. That's how I feel about it. And it's nothing about the sex stuff of these allegations of what's going on now. But I'm going to tell you something, that bothers me, and I'll finish with this. What bothers me about that is it's only a civil situation at this point. I need them to bring these videos forward and charge her criminally and Aries Spears criminally if this is what happened. That needs to happen, bro. Not no 5 years from now. Not 7 years from now and all that. It needs to happen immediately. If you got enough to get a civil suit judgment, you got enough to get a criminal judgment.
I agree with you, but of course, the family and the young people who are filing the lawsuit, they can't bring criminal charges, but they have reached out to the DA to say, we got the evidence.
That's what they're supposed to do.
We will talk to you. Please bring some charges. But in the absence of these charges, hey, you got to file your lawsuit, I guess.
Here's the thing. There's nothing out here saying that they didn't file charges. See, you can file charges. You can go out and say, hey, look, Wyatt did this to me on such and such day. He came to my house and he wanted that car sitting in my driveway, and I told him I wasn't going to sell it to him, and he punched me in my face. And they can you can say, I want to file criminal charges on him. And they'll write it up. They'll do everything they're supposed to do. But they're not going to come charge me until they've done an investigation. So just because criminal charges haven't been put up yet, don't mean that there's not an investigation going on and criminal charges could be coming in the future. That don't mean that. I just need them to hurry up and put it in motion. Because you can go down and file a civil suit right now, and it'll be set aside. Okay, they're not going to have. First of all, a criminal charge sets precedent over a civil suit. It's just like give you a perfect example. The best example in the world would be O.J. Simpson. Did you notice how the family of the guy? What was the guy's name? I can't remember the guy. Goldman. His family filed a civil suit against O.J. Simpson before OJ was found not guilty or guilty. So they set that case aside because what they wanted to do was let the criminal process play out and then attach the criminal, the civil suit to the criminal charge. The amazing thing to me was he was found not guilty in a criminal court, but then he was found guilty in a civil court. That made no sense to me. It was like he was proven not to have anything to do with this murder, not to be the one who actually murdered Nicole Brown Simpson and this Goldberg kid, but yet in a civil case, it was proven that he had something to do with it. That makes no sense to me.
Well,
and that'll go down in history as a twister for me.
But you know that's not the way they see it. He was not found innocent. He was found not guilty, which is not to say you didn't do it. That's just to say they didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did. Yeah. So, that is a distinction. And then in the criminal case, them to say you're liable for this. Even though we can't prove that you did it, we gonna hold you liable. So I agree with you. It's crazy.
I mean, it's the same thing. If you can find me guilty in liability, you should be able to find me guilty in murder. It's the same thing. I mean, how can you say, okay, so they got stabbed 5 times, but you can only prove that I stabbed them once?
It's a different. It's a different level that you have to prove, right?
Well,
like one is beyond a reasonable doubt, and one is preponderance of the evidence. So it's more likely than not that you did it from the civil standpoint, but we can't prove that you did it from the criminal standpoint. So I don't like it, but I think
I don't think you agree with it. I'm saying I know where you are with it, but don't you think that don't you think they have the same standard? I think so. I think that if you can prove that I did this, then I'm ready to pay the cost. But it don't take as much to prove I did this in a civil suit. So now I got to pay the cost.
I think it should be the same standard. If that's what you're saying, I agree. It should be the same standard, but it's not. And I don't like that.
I just don't understand it. Law does not have common sense. It really doesn't. It's the interpretation. It's like a lot of things in life where certain people, kind of see it one way and it turn out another. And I think when it comes to civil suit and here's the other thing. If based on your logic, I understand where you're coming from, but based on your stance and your logic on this, then why even set aside a civil suit during a criminal trial? One stands precedent over the other, and they put the criminal felony charge ahead of a civil suit. So it would add prejudice to a felony charge. You understand what I'm saying?
No doubt.
By having a civil suit proving that someone is guilty of being involved in something, but then you turn around and then you have that same trial on a criminal charge and they say you're not guilty, but you're going to reward somebody $30 million that you can't get a conviction on in a more thorough investigation. That's ridiculous to me, bro. That's just ridiculous to me. You can prove to me that I can prove to you that I didn't murder them people, but then you can come back with a civil suit and say, yes, you did. Now, you'd rather take my money. You can prove it to take my money, but you can't prove it to send me to jail. That's ass backwards, bro. That's just ass backwards to me. I don't know how the people feel, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. And it never has.
I agree. And I'm with you. I do an investigation because the Tiffany Aries, I don't know who did what or what they did or how it was done, but do an investigation. I look at the young people and I'm like, all right, you say that somebody abused you or, mistreated you, treated you inappropriately. I'm not going to say that you lie. They say they didn't do it. I'm not going to say that they lie, but we do have a video and that's enough for me to say, I can't mess with them two no more.
Right. I mean, it's a smoking gun, right?
Yeah, unless, you know what I'm saying? Like they got to produce something to where, everybody was okay with it. It was supervised. Mama was there, whatever. And then it's still in horrible taste based on the way it's been described to me. It's still in horrible taste based on what was described to me. But yeah, I can't mess with you. But then again, I don't mess with Tiffany anyway.
Right.
And I ain't seen Aries in I don't know how long. So
Yeah, well, I never really had a bad word against any of them. I think that for them to even come out and say, now I'm waiting to see if these other videos exist. I've seen some people put some things on the screen earlier in the show saying that there's like 15 more videos. Then we would have to say this wasn't just one of them type of skit things that they were trying to make fun of and blah, blah, blah. I would say that this was a regular behavior. They're showing a consistency of a behavior if that's what happened. But I can't stand up for anybody that's involved in child porn or child fondling or anything like that, and then try to turn back now and say we made a bad decision by trying to add comedy to child trauma. I can't, can't find myself to even. I don't even know where the video is. I'm not interested in seeing it, and I don't want to judge it. I just don't want to I don't want to see it. I don't want to see what's funny about it. I don't want to see what's supposed to be funny. I don't care about all that shit. If what they did, if that shit is true, then I think criminal charges should be put up on them. I don't care what color they are, man or woman, and none of that. They need to be charged for that. Because that's obviously been a problem for those kids that were involved, because they've been after them about this for a while. And unfortunately, didn't you say something, E, about this is Tiffany Haddish's friend's child or something like that?
There's something in there. One of Tiffany Haddish's attorney, he says every attorney, they're talking about the plaintiff's mother. They're saying that these claims are bogus, that the plaintiff's mother has been trying to discredit Tiffany Haddish with these same accusations for years. And he says, quote, every attorney who has initially taken on her case, and there were several, which means she's been pursuing this with attorneys for years, ultimately dropped the matter once it became clear that the claims were meritless and Miss Haddish would not be shaken down. Now she has her adult daughter representing herself in the lawsuit, and the two of them will face together the consequences of pursuing this frivolous action. So yeah, this lady been trying to get this thing underway apparently for years now. And, according to Tiffany Haddish's attorney, she's contacted several attorneys who've taken the case and then said, yeah, no, I can't take this case no more.
Right.
So, yeah, this ain't something that they just came up with. And this is why I was saying, the idea that they only did this because of Aries Spears with Lizzo thing. Mama been pursuing this apparently for years.
And now the child is, since they're an adult.
Yeah, now the child is an adult. She can file a lawsuit on her own.
A more serious approach. Well, the mom may have taken it as well, but maybe they don't have the best relationship. And maybe the child, you see what I'm saying? There could be some things. There's a whole lot of things that can be there. Let me say something about somebody that just said something. I think Lewis Johnson said, how can you say that if you never watched the video? I'm not sure what I said that was bad about the video or whatever, me saying that I don't want to watch the video. Lewis, what I'm saying is based off of what people who have seen the video. There's been people on this show who made comments in the comment section.
And by the way, Lewis is CK.
No, that's not CK.
Yes.
No, I don't
know it's weird. Lewis and Gerald Johnson are the same person.
I thought we already had that conversation, and I was like,
yeah, Lewis and Gerald are the same person, and that person is CK.
Oh shit. So we both were right that day. Remember when I was like that other guys? No, that's because it show up on my phone. Blah blah blah. Okay, well let me tell CK how about this. He says, hold on. He says, how can you say that if you never watched the video? Well, CK, I can base my information off. If you're CK, I can base the information off of what CK said. He the one who called in and said himself how vulgar it was and it wasn't cool. So I'm gonna go by what you said. And then he says, that got to be the fakest stuff you ever heard of based on the video you never seen. You think this shit happened. How can you talk? Can you talk work on your professional skills? I'm not quite sure what that is, but it sounds like you're calling me out about being more professional.
No, he was talking to me. That was directed at me. All of that was directed at me.
Because CK, what I was saying, brother, was okay, I got a little lost in the comment there. Americans are the only ones that make judgment on stuff they never see. Well, I'm only making judgment. I am being judgmental on this only because of the accusations of it being child pornography, and I can't find myself to watch it, mainly because I've already seen the statement that Tiffany Haddish and them put out about apologizing, and
Right.
they maybe not have should have done that. And then she turns around and says, first there was excuses before the apology, and then they turn around and say that we were trying to make this a funny situation. And those are just real bad combinations for me, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't have to see a skit to have my own frame of mind about it when I know the purpose of it. Like, I don't want to see a funny skit of a man raping a woman. I don't want to see that skit. And I probably won't have a serious opinion about it until I get enough people to voice their opinions, and then I'll know what direction to go with it. And then I might voice my opinion about why I didn't watch it, and I can't see anybody finding something funny in that type of action. So,
but like you said, if the person who filmed the skit was a part of the skit, come out and say, you know what, that wasn't funny, and I shouldn't even did that.
Right.
You really don't have to watch it to be like, all right, it was inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, and we make mistakes. But that's just one of them type of mistakes that kind of give me a personality check of who that individual is. You know, there's dark things and then there's nightmare things. And when you try to put a PSA together and you say child pornography and we're going to make this a funny skit, it's hard for me to put some shit together to see where you're going to get comedy out of a child pornography situation. And you use actual children. It would be one thing if you were using grown-ups that look like children and you were trying to show child pornography and its ways of how it's interacting on the Facebook and on different sites. Like, for instance, people actually do these hidden things where they catch predators and they put it on internet and they put it on the phone, they put it out there for the world to see. And they don't ever show the face of the children or the people that they were pretending to be. They would send fake pictures of young girls or young boys. They never show those pictures. And they never turn this into a joke. They always make it a serious matter. So when you're trying to turn something like child pornography and turn some comedy to it, it's a space that I can't find myself to laugh at. That's all.
And of course, for me, the big irony is that she's now hosting the show that Bill Cosby used to host. Kids say the darndest things.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's gonna lie. You out here accused of doing inappropriate stuff with kids. I think they probably got to pull you off that show.
Yeah, that's gonna be she'll probably get a slip for that one. We're gonna put you on paid administrative leave, some shit like that. I can't imagine. Is that show even still on?
I think it is.
I didn't know that. I don't watch television like that, but if it is, they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to put a part-time, they're
gonna have to get Alfonso Ribeiro.
Right. Give Carlton another job. He can use it. His ass, his fake ass. All right, man. Let me see. We got anything else? Two ignorant people making a video using something inappropriate will happen, but their intentions. Exactly, Tim Allen. Exactly, bro. See, that's where I'm at with it. This was a hard one for me to have a conversation about. I have two daughters. I can only imagine if somebody called one of my daughters to a screen show, one of these things where they're making this commercial or they trying to put a PSA together or something, and it turned out like this. I'd have a problem. I'd have a serious problem, man. I'd have a problem. And here we are, like you said, E, we're thinking because these are celebrities that they're not capable of doing something like this. And that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
You're failing your children by allowing those type of thought processes to go on and out here like that. That's crazy.
Well, why I got to get out of here.
Yeah, man, it's fall. I gotta go, man.
Hey,
I appreciate it, E. Thanks for having me.
Same here, man. I appreciate everybody, you know, taking a few hours out of your day or 5 minutes out of your day, however long you took to hang with us and, you know, check us out. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I know what Wyatt do. I don't want to speak for him, but I know he do.
I do.
And, other than that, as I always say when I'm going, I hope something amazing happens, life-changing in your life today.
I don't say that to people, but okay. Because I always say do something nice for somebody. People that know me know I say this all the time, every day. Do something good for somebody. You know, karma is not a dirty word. You treat people the way you want to be treated. The energy that you give people, it should come back to you. If it don't come back to you, then you find other people to give that great karma to. I mean, that great energy to, and that karma will come back at you. So this is Wyatt. This is the King of Talk over here, Emmanuel Livingston. This is the King and I. We appreciate you. We coming back on Monday, E. You know, I got to check your book. You know, I got to check your book. I'm about to be
on it.
agent.
Now I am going to Kings Island. My understanding is on Sunday. I'm going to Kings Island.
He might not make it back, y'all.
If I survive, I plan on being here on Monday.
Wait a minute, all right? Open just on the weekends now, right?
I don't know. I think it's like GE Day or something like that.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think.
All right, so you're gonna get on some rides, man?
Absolutely. I don't get on nothing to spin around.
Yeah, because you laugh at people when they get fucked up on them things, bro. I'm telling you, that karma shit I'm talking about, bro. It's the energy that you push. I will never go to Kings Island with a man that laugh at people that fall off rides. I would never go. I wouldn't get on shit with you. I'm just saying.
I don't get on stuff to spin around because I'm too old, bro. I get headaches and I get sick. But
I ain't getting on the Scooby-Doo with your ass. I ain't getting on nothing that can go 3 feet or higher off the ground.
And I sure hope I don't come falling off. I hope that. But hope it, pray it, fingers crossed, everything you can think of.
Oh shit. I ain't even gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh.
You know how fucked up that'd be. Oh, Emmanuel, and I know Emmanuel was laughing at them people who got killed. Remember, he was talking about the drop zone and he hit the ground. Oh, he thought that was funny. Well, ha now.
Yeah, that would be you. That's why I said, bro, we can go, but I catch y'all when y'all get off that little shit over there, man. I ain't riding nothing with you. Especially, listen, man, I used to tell my partners when we was growing up down the way, they know who they are. Stop laughing at that dude that got on the bus with one leg shorter than the other. Stop laughing at these people that do certain shit, man, that slip and fall. You better stop laughing at stuff because that shit is going to snap back up at your ass one day.
I got a condition, though. So
now, if you don't get a check for it, if you don't get a check at the month, the first of the month for your condition, then it don't count.
That's not true.
It don't count.
I got 2 conditions that I know of: oppositional defiance disorder, and this other one, which I don't know the name of it, but sometimes it make me laugh on the outside when I'm really sad and horrified on the inside.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, that's a good one. You made that shit up right in time. We getting up out of here, man. Peace and love to everybody, man. Love y'all. Holla.